Hello and welcome into day 2 of NFL Free Agency 2024. What is going on? I am Matt O'Leary. Got to be hanging out with you. Yesterday, we hung out for 5 hours for NFL Free Agency day 1. And over that 5-hour span, the New York Jets were very, very quiet. We reacted to Bryce Huff leaving. Joe Douglas did not make any moves until after 11 p.m. He literally waited to the 11th hour of night 1, made some moves. John Simpson, you are a New York Jet. Javon Kinlaw called that one with Tigo yesterday. Javon Kinlaw, you are a New York Jet. And Tyrod Taylor, you are a New York Jet. Let's ring the bell. We are getting ready to start. That is the opening bell of the program. We are now ready to go for day 2 of free agency. Let's say what up to people in the chat. Tigo is here first. If you ignore the other comments, love that. Donker Sloot, what's up, guys? What's going on? Vinny, he was hanging with us yesterday. What's up, Maddie? Christopher says, would love to snag Boyd today. I would also love to snag Boyd. Caden says, Matt, why didn't you call in Jake Asman show? We were waiting for you. I'm sorry. I was eating lunch. I had to eat an early lunch because I'm starting at 12. But we had to eat something, get something in the belly. So I had him on, and then I made one comment in the chat, and then turned it sideways and wasn't reading the chat. Was just watching Jake. Ryan says, famous last line today. I'll get work done. Sees Matt O'Leary streaming. Doug is hanging with us. We're going to drop the call in link in a second. Just going to finish saying hello to the chat. NY Flight Jets Talk, a.k.a. Connor, was on with him last night. Make sure to check that out. That was awesome. Jiggaman Porto's hanging with us. What's going on, guys? Excited for this one, day 2. Don't worry. We're going to drop the link in here so we can do the call-ins. We'll share tweets as they come. We'll react. We'll have some fun. Let's do it. Hang on. Okay. Call in link. Bang. Here you go. There. Oh, nope. It would help if. Can I pin it from in here, or do I have to go on YouTube to do it? I think I have to go on YouTube to pin it. Pin message. There we go. Now it's pinned at the top, so we should get Doug any second. Jesse says, Matt, I sent you an IG message with the video of Kinlaw. It's a bit not safe for work, but I'm curious if you have any thoughts. Keep up the awesome content, my guy. I'll be tuned in for your 8-hour stream today. Yes, hopefully not going for a full 8 hours today. It's possible, right? If it's a busy day, why am I going to hop off? But to answer Jesse's question, yes, I saw the video. Thank you for sending it to me. I remember when that happened. He went after a reporter. It was a little bit much. I'm going to be honest. It was a little much. I made a joke on Twitter. I said something like to the effect of Brian Costello's fucked because he's going to have to catch the wrath of Javon Kinlaw. But it was a little Michael Clemens-esque. I feel like they're in the same kind of boat where they're, depth defensive linemen who have a little personality. And, that's not necessarily a bad thing. But, yeah, Kinlaw went a little ham, went in on that. Here he is. Let's go to him. He was in the show. I lost count. I'm going to say 6 times yesterday, probably, but let's go to Doug on the couch. Doug, were you asleep last night when the moves happened? Was that why the Jets?
No, I was watching Jake's show when they were all going on, and then on that stream, and then I fell asleep during his latest stream. I couldn't stay up all night, but mostly happy. I didn't have to shave my head today.
So what made you want to put that out into the ether?
Well, because I was confident we were going to do something, and it was getting really close to midnight, and I was going to come on. I mean, they did announce the signing of a depth corner, so technically they signed somebody yesterday. It was going to be my argument if nothing else happened, but thank God something else did, because I do need a haircut, but I don't feel like shaving my head.
So what's the next thing that you're going to say? Be like, hey, I'm going to shave my head if the Jets don't sign. Who's your favorite guy left on the market right now?
Honestly, I don't really have a favorite.
Okay.
I was very happy with the signings last night. I think the Ravens guard, I'm terrible with names, whatever his name is.
John Simpson?
Yeah. I think it's a low risk signing. And then compared to other prices, like we were on when we broke down the contract yesterday. Crazy. That's ridiculous. I don't want to be paying a guard $20 million a year, 63 of it guaranteed, over 5 years. I just don't think that is a good way. Like you saw how much the Panthers paid guards yesterday. I don't think that's a good way to build your team. I understand building through the trenches, but to pay guards that much, I don't think is a great way to build your team. Again, not a
Fair.
GM, but I understand paying tackles that much, but paying a guard, two guards, they're paying almost $150 million to two guards. So
That's a lot.
I don't know if that's a good way to build the team. To me, I think they're going to sign one of Zeitler or Tyron Smith. I don't think they're going to sign both, even though they can sign both. I don't think they will. Because here's my thinking. If they sign Tyron Smith, that tells you, okay, they're putting AVT at right guard.
I agree.
There you go. And if they sign Zeitler, okay, he's our right tackle. We're going to draft the left tackle. Or with the Tyron Smith, he's our right guard. We're going to draft our right tackle. That's where kind of mindset is. Because they could sign both, and if they sign both, it's like, well, in the draft, do you still stay at tackle, or do you just take the best receiver on the board?
Yeah, that's going to be the debate at that point. I'm not against taking an offensive lineman there, but you can make a stronger case, I think, for going a weapon if after you build.
That's why I don't think they're going to sign both Tyron Smith and Zeitler. I do think they're going to sign one of the two. That's just where that's like the tinfoil hat theory. Like if they sign both, okay, then they're not going tackle at 10. They'll probably pick a tackle in the third round. Or maybe at that point, they trade back a couple of spots and try to recruit the second round pick. Is kind of where I'm thinking if they sign both of them.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think you could see them move down the board if they sign both. I think it's a little ambitious to think that they are going to. I mean, it's possible, but I think we're setting ourselves up to be disappointed if we're.
That's why I think they're going to sign one of the two. I don't know which one. It's just I think I would prefer Tyron Smith. Tyron
Smith.
Yeah, I just think that get a lot of tackle. I know he plays like 13, 14 games. He doesn't play all the 17, but he still plays at an all-pro level when he's healthy. So, and then I'm fine plugging in Carter Warren for 3 or 4 games because he showed you he could do that last year.
Now, what do you think of the wide receiver market? Calvin Ridley just got some big money.
Yeah, I saw Calvin Ridley just signed somewhere.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I meant Darnell Mooney. I saw. I was reading the chat.
I'm watching NFL Network right now too. 3 for 39 with 26 fully guaranteed.
It's a lot.
I mean, that's kind of similar to what Corey Davis got when we signed him, right?
That sounds right. Yeah, somewhere in that range.
Like I think that's the rate for like a second and third wide receiver nowadays. So personally, I would be okay with Tyler Boyd. I know some people are like, oh, that's such a letdown. But Tyler Boyd's a good veteran. I think he'd be a good presence for Garrett Wilson. Not that he's a bad presence, but like good veteran presence for Garrett Wilson, just to have a guy to lean on who's been in the league for a long time, been a consistent guy in the league. I like Tyler Boyd. I like Curtis Samuel as a third receiver as well because you can do a lot with him. I think he's a better version of what Mecole Hardman thought we thought Mecole Hardman was going to be.
That's fair.
Because Curtis Samuel was a running back out of Ohio State too, and you can use him more than you would have Mecole Hardman, who's a bum. What a total bum. But yeah, that's where my mindset is. I guess I think I like maybe going Zeitler and Tyron Smith. Davis got 3 for 37. So yeah, Mooney was like right along that. I like going for Zeitler and Smith though, because then you get the best player available, a receiver. Because this receiver class is loaded. That kind of tells you what this free agent market. Like there's not a rush from receivers because they know the draft is loaded with receivers.
That's true. And I don't know, the thought of taking a Rome Odunze or a Brock Bowers would be a lot of fun. I think you just got to make sure that you're all set on the offensive line before you do something like that.
I agree, but that's why I'm saying if you sign Zeitler and Tyron Smith, I'm all for going for if whoever the best wide receiver on the board is at that time. If they feel, I'm all for them going to do that. Because the last time we picked a wide receiver at 10, it worked out pretty well.
That's true.
So true. I'm hoping lightning strikes twice in that. And tomorrow, I know I'm not going to have to shave my head because we're going to have to resign. They're going to resign Thomas Morstead tomorrow. So
yes,
there you go.
I agree.
So
I expect that one tomorrow. I expect that one tomorrow too.
I'm just waiting for Bakhtiari to end up being a backup left tackle at this point.
It's going to happen.
I wouldn't be opposed to also signing AJ Dillon. I think he'd be a good second running back because Brees is obviously Nathaniel Hackett didn't know it, but Brees is a good receiving back.
True.
Really good. And I like that power back down on the goal line to give Brees some little rest, like on the heavier carries. So I like AJ Dillon for like that kind of role. And obviously the Rodgers connections. I don't know if I'm the only one who maybe thinks AJ Dillon would be a good signing, but
I'm not his biggest fan. Like, he's a big running back, but I thought he would be better in short yardage situations than what he is. I would get it though, like if that's the route that they went, and I wouldn't hate it, but I gotta look at the running back market and see who's left. Like,
I mean, and then that's the opposite. Like, you saw how aggressive the running back market was because, like, from Daniel Jeremiah, this running back draft class is very weak. So you're not going to get a good running back in the draft.
Yeah,
I don't know if you have like Brees and then a rookie and a second-year guy in Izzy. I don't know if that's what you want your running back room to be.
No, I think you need to go with the veteran. That's a good call. But
and AJ, like, what, you're probably paying $2 million, if that.
Yeah, so I would say between $2 and $4 million. He's not going to cost you a lot of money. So I'm good with the veteran RB2 route on the cheap side. I don't think the Jets need to spend crazy money to find somebody.
No, if you can get someone like that Austin Eckler deal yesterday.
Yeah, that was good.
That'd be a perfect amount of money I would deal with.
Perfect.
I don't know who, but
somebody. There's got to be guys out there.
What's your dream for today?
I think either Zeitler or Ridley, one of those two, would be would get the biggest reaction. Zeitler, I love on the interior, just a rock solid, steady guard. I'm open to playing AVT at tackle, so I'm not necessarily like they have to sign Tyron so that they play him inside. But for wide receiver with Ridley, he's going to be costly, but getting a guy who could be an 1,000-yard guy with Garrett Wilson would be a ton of fun for the South.
What do you think the contract would be for Ridley? Like 3 for 60?
I think it'd be a little. Yeah. If it's 3 years, that sounds about right.
Because Mooney got just 3 for 39, and Ridley's better than Calvin.
He'll get 20 AAV, I would think.
This question is: does Joe Douglas want to pay that much for his receivers? Is the
question. Fair question. It's a fair question.
Because he paid $10 million a year for that bum Allen Lazard. I don't know. And then they signed Yaboa, so I don't think they're gonna go after any other tight ends. So I don't need that.
No, I don't think we'll see that. But
I would like to bring back Solomon Thomas. I thought he had a great year.
Okay. Yeah, I would too. And I don't think signing Kinlaw stops you from doing that either.
No, they like having the rotational D line. So it's good having that good solid rotation and guys who like Solomon Thomas seems to enjoy being there. So I don't know why you wouldn't bring him back, but
yeah. No, I see it. Doug, I appreciate it. I got another call in here. We'll go to some super chats, but you're welcome to check back in as we go.
Of course I will. What else am I going to do today?
I love it. Enjoy your day, Doug. Let's go to Eric is up next. He's on the line. Eric, what's going on, man? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing good, man. What do you think of free agency so far?
I was surprised to see those late signings. It wasn't late for me. I'm in the West Coast, but I mean, for JD, I was like, okay, this guy's sleeping today. I think the signings are very much dependent on what else we do in free agency.
Yeah.
Because if we get another bigger named offensive lineman, and Simpson is one of the worst ones on the line, I'm cool with that. Because, I mean, obviously Tippmann's good, AVT's good. And if we draft, I still want to draft Fuaga on the right and maybe put somebody in the left tackle. I'm solid with that line. So I feel like it's very much dependent on what else we do. Because they're both like, not bad. Could be good. Potential.
Yeah, that was my feeling with Simpson too. Like, that wasn't a guy who was like, okay, this is at the top of my free agent list. I think it'd be a home run, but he's on the cheaper side. There's some upside there. I'm going to be honest, the penalties scare me. 2 years he started, he's had double-digit penalties each year. So that's a little bit concerning for me.
Yeah, especially with Aaron Rodgers' hard count.
Yeah, right. The pre-snap penalties from last year were a disaster.
It's okay. We got Keith Carter to help him out.
Does that make you feel confident? Not for me.
No, not at all, honestly. But we'll see what happens. I mean, JD has a tendency of finding some good, cheaper offensive linemen, like Fant.
Yeah,
but
good one.
Let's hope it doesn't turn out like Dwayne Brown and Aaron Rodgers gets injured again. But I'm curious to see what we do. I think today's going to be a bigger day for sure and earlier signings. Let's hope.
Yeah, I
But
hope so. I want to be live
yeah,
when one happens. I don't want to be on at 11 if they're
I
starting
know,
at 12. That's a long day.
right? But who would you rather get, a bigger name wide receiver or a bigger name O lineman? Which is basically, would you rather get Ridley or
Zeitler.
Zeitler? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'd probably go Zeitler, and then could I get Tyler Boyd with that? Like, can
You
I?
know, I've been saying I would be so down for Boyd. I feel like he's underrated and he's like under the radar compared to all these bigger names.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get as much as some of the like. I would be surprised if he got even the Mooney money at 13
No,
million.
no chance. No
Yeah, I think
chance.
10 or under for him.
Yeah.
And you put him in the slot. He's a bigger slot receiver, steady receiver in Cincinnati. Even when they brought in Jamar Chase and T Higgins, after
Right.
that, he was still productive. So I'm with it. I think that's a better, on the cheaper side option.
Yeah. I've been saying trade for Sutton, sign Boyd, and I'm happy.
Dude, that'd be a home run. They have 2 4th-round picks. Pick one of them. Send it to.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah. Let's hope. Let's see.
Absolutely. So it's a early day for you out there. I appreciate
9:18 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah. So I appreciate you checking in. You're going to be my
Thank
West
you.
Coast plug for the late night
That's
hour.
right. Good seeing you.
I appreciate it, Eric. Have a good day.
You too.
All right, let's go. Johnny, new hat today, Johnny. Yes, I think so. I don't remember this one from yesterday.
Yeah, it's a new one, man. Bro, how about you called it, man? You said you're going to get off and they're going to start signing everybody late at night. What's your take?
Exactly what happened, yeah.
Dude, they're good signings, man. I'm pretty hyped with them. I mean, I feel like the Simpson signing's good. I'm excited with Tyrod. I mean, it's exactly what we need, right? Somebody's not going to break the bank, but in case we need him for maybe 1 or 2 games, he could get us that W as well. He's loved out here in Virginia. Tyrod's considered like Virginia's finest over here and whatnot. So, and then the Kinlaw, I mean, I don't know about that one too much, right? I don't know too much about Kinlaw, but I know that he was with Salah prior to Salah leaving from over there. So
yeah, he was the 1st-round pick their last year, or Salah's last year there. He was kind of like Solomon Thomas, a little bit underwhelming there. He's a good pass rusher, not very good against the run. So like, I don't think he's an every down guy. He'll rotate in. I think I said in my video yesterday, like, I don't know, maybe like 40% of snaps for him this year would be my guess where he ends up.
And the Joe Douglas specials, man, and 1-year deals. Dude, I like them. Why not? So it's not going to be killing us later on. Well, with that being said, what do you think are the moves today? I mean, are we going to go full online, or maybe we get a big, giant signing of Armstead over here to put right next to Q Williams? Mooney's gone. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they'll be in on a receiver today. I don't know if it's going to be the big money to Ridley, as fun as that would be to have him with Garrett Wilson. And I'd be really excited about it. I don't know if they're going to be the one who's ponies up the big money, but I do think we see them sign a receiver today. The backup quarterback, check. One offensive lineman. They probably need to do another one offensive lineman today. Defensive line, they did some depth things. I think receiver is next up here. I mean, with the last call with Eric, we just talked about Tyler Boyd. Unfortunately, because of the Rodgers connection, you got to add Marquez Valdez-Scantling and any former Packer in the mix as a free agent to watch. So that's what I'm keeping an eye out for today.
Hey, Jones is gone, man. Unfortunately, he went, but hey, good for him. He wanted to be number 1 over there. So we'll see. I did want to run something by you real quick. What if we do this, right? And would this change the whole dynamic of that? If Tigo's there, Tigo don't kill me. This is just a hypothetical, all right? But we end up getting Smith, left tackle. We get Bakhtiari. He moves to right tackle. Still keep AVT right guard. Still keep Simpson left guard. Tittman. Does that bolster the actual itself? And then in the draft, we go nuts and like Roma Dunze drops for us. Bowers grows is there. What do you think?
I would be nervous about relying on Bakhtiari to play a full season If they were to bring him in as a backup, you could maybe sell me on it. It's not my favorite route, but my fear is that they're going to go, we're going to sign Bakhtiari, and that's our, just wipe our hands with it. That's our plan. Kind of like what they did with Dwayne Brown. He got hurt at the end of last year, and he didn't play a lot in training camp or the preseason, but was out there on opening night. And then 2 games into the season, he gets hurt, and there's a major issue on the offensive line. That's just my fear with it. If everyone's healthy and it all breaks right, it could be very, very good. I don't have the faith that it would stay a healthy unit.
Got it. All right, man. Well, I'll be hearing, bro. Let's get some better news, but more than likely it won't be till about like 11 o'clock at night. So JETS, let's go.
Appreciate it, Johnny. Thank you. All right, a couple super chats quick, and then we'll get back to the phone lines. We got Blitz Crew checking in with us. What's going on, Blitz Crew? Thank you for your support. He says, feels like we are going to sign Bakhtiari and draft a right tackle at 10, maybe with a possible trade down if available. Thoughts on wide receiver Reynolds from the Lions? Reynolds is an under the radar kind of option. He was relatively productive for them last year. If we're just pulling up his numbers now, he had 608 yards, 5 touchdowns. Bigger receiver at 6'3", 194, I believe was their second leading wide receiver behind Amon-Ra. Obviously, they had Laporta, who put up big numbers for them receiving. He was. Reynolds at 608 was, pretty much their number 2. Started 13 of 17 games. Not a terrible pivot point, but I don't think he would be my first and preferred option. And then E-Boogie, what's going on, man? Thank you for the support. Says today is a better day. Quarterback Taylor and kicker. Let's go get left tackle. Yeah. I did like the addition of Tyrod Taylor. I think that he's someone who's just kind of going to be a steady, if we have to see him, steady game manager, won't do too much, still has some upside because of his legs, even at his age, still has a good deep ball. Yes, he can sometimes hold on to the ball for a little bit too long. That's why he's not a starter, but I think you can't really do too much better than him as a backup, especially when you consider like Gardner Minshew signed to potentially be a starter in Vegas. Brissett signed in New England, where he's going to have a chance to compete with likely a rookie as a starter for a starting job. So of the rest of the crop, it was pretty much like him and Ryan Tannehill. And I'm good with, going with the Tyrod Taylor on that route. All right, let's get back to the Lions. Tigo is up next. Tigo, what's up, my friend? How are you?
Doing good, man. I just came, honestly, to give you props. You called Kinlaw.
I did. I know we were like super excited about it, but I was like, that one feels like it's going to come. If there's going to be one of the 49ers, it's going to be Kinlaw.
Yeah, no, the way I feel about Kinlaw, or I still do, right, is how I felt about when we signed Solomon Thomas, which is just like, okay, like I get it, you're bringing in your guy, but why is this the guy that you're bringing, And I don't know. It just seems like an underwhelming signing. You know what I mean? Especially for the interior of the defensive line. But he's going to be rusher 4, not rusher 2.
No, exactly. Like it's hard to get 2 up or 2 down on that one for me. I just saw it, went, okay, that makes sense, and then kind of just moved on with my night at that point. It's as you said, he's going to be probably the 4th rusher on the interior. It doesn't stop you from bringing back a Solomon Thomas or Quentin Jefferson if that's what you want to do, or maybe potential upgrade. Like I know we talked about yesterday too. Sheldon Rankins is still on the market. Maybe that would be someone they'd like to bring back.
Yeah, I hope we do. I'd love for us to go a little bit more aggressive than I think a lot of fans are at the interior of the defensive line.
Okay.
I just think I know this is going to come off like, oh, this is us relying on Aaron Rodgers to do everything again. And it's like, I just don't think that's true. I think our offense is closer than people think once we get like the offensive tackle and we situate the offensive line, which I think is exactly what they're going to do. But I think like everything else is good enough if you round it out with some players, and I just don't want to sacrifice the defense to make the offense better, all that much. I know that that's a thing that we're going to have to do, of course, we're not going to be able to maintain that defense and then also address the offense positively. Just not enough money going around. But it's just like, I don't want us to go from the best defense to a middle of the pack defense, which I don't see happening, just so that we can raise the level of the offense, if that makes sense.
No, I totally get you. And here's just want to pull up some names. U Stadium put out best available by positions earlier today. Interior defensive line, Armstead, Reeder, Rankins, Calais Campbell still kicking around, Quentin Jefferson. Tart is a guy you mentioned yesterday also that you'd be in on. Of this list, is it still Tart that is jumping out the most to you, or is there another name you'd like to see the Jets in on?
Like, there's a lot of guys on that list that I would be totally cool with bringing in. DJ Reeder, Sheldon Rankins, Tiari Tart. I'd love to bring in Arik Armstead. Like, who wouldn't, right? I think what we need is one more guy who can play 50+% of the snaps. And so for me, the guys that fit that mold are your Tarts, your Sheldon Rankins, your DJ Reeders. I'd be interested in hearing how Quentin Jefferson is doing in his recovery, because I would feel comfortable with him in that role if his recovery is going well. But like, we'd like to rotate the defensive line. I want to use that as our strength.
Calais Campbell having 6.5 sacks at 37 is kind of wild last year in Atlanta.
Dude, and people are sleeping on Atlanta. Like, Atlanta with Kirk now immediately becomes insanely competitive.
Yeah, I think they have to be the front runner for that division, I would think.
Easily. I'd put them in the same conversation. Not as good as, let me be very clear here. But when you're looking at that division, when you're looking at the NFC, like, it's going to be what? San Francisco, Philadelphia battling it out for the 1 or the 2. I would not be surprised if Atlanta came third in the NFC, like, at all. Like, who else is going to take that from them?
I think they're in the same. I put them in the same tier as Detroit. I think that they're in that next tier. So the top 2 teams, Eagles and 49ers, then that next batch of like Dallas, Detroit, Atlanta, I would say.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Now,
let me ask you this, and then I'm going to hop off.
Sure.
Right? Obviously, we're expecting that the New York Jets are going to get a tackle. More than likely, it's going to be a left tackle, whatever. Right? What do you want the Jets to do? And what do you think they'll actually do?
Okay. I guess what I would like is Zeitler and Boyd, and for like a realistic
but just for tackle.
Oh, just for tackle.
Just for tackle, not the rest of the offseason. Just for tackle.
Just for tackle?
Yeah.
I think they're gonna be in on Bakhtiari or Jonah Williams, which I don't like. I would not like to see that. I guess Tyron Smith at tackle. I feel like you lost a lot of the bigger name guys unless you want to run it back with George Fant, but I don't think they'll do that. I guess Tyron Smith is the best guy left at this point. But my fear is that they're going to be like, hey, like $15-16 million a year for Jonah Williams to be our left tackle. And it's just going to be like, I don't know if that's the wisest choice, man.
I think I am with you. I am much higher on David Bakhtiari than most. I get that. And I think that seems inevitable. And I think that's just week 1 left tackle is David Bakhtiari. Like, that just seems like what the plan might end up being.
Right.
But like, the other thing for me, which is, I think people are trying to go, what's the best version of the offensive line we can get, right? And I think Joe Douglas is more like, how can I get to average?
Mm-hmm.
How can I get to middle of the pack? And who's not hurt? Because like, that's what the Simpson signing is, right?
Yeah.
Played all 19 games for the Ravens last year. Wasn't all that bad, kind of average. That's what it was. Struggled with pass pro, real good in the run game, kind of mean and nasty. You love to see that from your offensive lineman. Like, and I look at it and I go, dude, it almost feels destined that we're going to go after a guy like Jonah Williams, just for the pure fact of he's played every game, all 4 years. He's never missed any time. He can play left. He can play right. Not great. He's not an excellent option, right? But he's never been hurt, and he's just available, and that's it. We'll figure out the rest of the stuff. Availability is the best thing. Let's not have. And I'm just like, I'm really scared that that's what they're going to end up doing.
Yeah, I would not love that. He's been healthy. Yeah, like you said, last 3 years he's played just about every single game, but it's
Even his rookie year, he played every. He,
oh,
played every
he
game.
missed his whole rookie. He was drafted in 19 and missed his whole rookie season.
Did he?
Yeah. But then in 2020 it was 10 games and then he's been healthy ever since then. But I don't know. I feel like that's just a name that people know because he was a former first round pick. But is been okay. I'm not gonna go crazy excited if that's the plan for them at tackle.
Yeah. It's again, I'm not saying that that's what I want before the
Right.
comment section comes and attacks me. That's not what I want, but I just feel like you're just going to go for availability, and that's just the best option is that. Like you could maybe, like, would you be okay if it was, no, even that's not a really great answer.
What
But
were
I
you
was
gonna
going to say if it was like Jonah Williams and then you also brought in like Donovan Smith. Donovan Smith is going to be stupid cheap.
He is gonna
You
be
know?
stupid, but he's
And he could be a backup. But then you're just like, that's still not great.
yeah, he's still not. That's just it. Unfortunately, he's still, yes, he has the starting experience, but it's I don't know. He wasn't great when he had to start.
Just I think that the tackle market in free agency wasn't all that great.
No, I agree with
You
you. That's
know,
why I
and
like
it's
the
just
guards better.
we're trying to pick from the shiniest of the shiny turds, and it's just like, well, the shiniest of the turds is a fully healthy Tyron Smith and or David Bakhtiari because like they're unstoppable when healthy, but that when healthy is a big. That's
yeah.
a massive, when healthy, and it's just. I guess the conversation with Tyron Smith or David Bakhtiari is going to be how comfortable are you with Carter Warren?
Yeah, great point. Hopefully Carter Warren develops this offseason. He, to his credit, he didn't have much of a summer because he was hurt. So maybe this year that helps him.
Yeah,
develop.
I think we have to remember that he had a second round grade on him before he got hurt. Carter
That's
Warren.
true.
He had a second round grade on him before he got hurt, and he's never had a fully healthy offseason. So I'm not saying bank on Carter Warren starting, but I am a big fan of Carter Warren. I also, this is well documented, but I also think I'm a big fan of Max Mitchell. Now, again, not saying bank on either one of them starting, but the same thing can be said about both. They've never had a real offseason to get ready for the role. Last year, Max Mitchell was scared he was going to die, Blood clots are a serious issue. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm nervous. I'm nervous about this tackle position.
Me too. Curious to see what they do today. But Tigo, I appreciate you checking in with me today. We'll talk.
Have a good one, man.
Love it. Good stuff out of our guy Tigo. We're gonna go back to some super chats. Get into it with the chat. We'll refresh Twitter. We got 344 in with us. Half hour in. I appreciate it. Please, if you're new in here, leave a like. Subscribe to the channel as well. Blitz Crew is back. Says Simpson brings some attitude to the line. That's true. Happy with the signing. You think Kinlaw will be better with us? Who's the run stuffer and safeties? So for me, Chuck Clark, you got to bring back Ashton Davis, which I can't believe I'm saying that after, what his first 3 seasons in the league were like. But I think you bring back Ashton Davis and it's Chuck Clark and Ashton at strong safety. And then free safety, I think they're good with Tony Adams, and they drafted Jarek Bernard-Converse, who I think they're going to want to keep around. And Kinlaw, I think, is going to serve his role. He's not going to play a ton. He's going to be put in obvious passing situations. They'll let him get after the quarterback. He'll probably find his way around 40% of snaps, 4 sacks, somewhere in that range. Again, are you writing home about him, saying like, oh my God, this is the best signing ever, great value? No. But is he someone that you need on a 53-man roster, or is that a role that you need on a 53-man roster? Yes. And we haven't seen the money yet, but I would imagine it's pretty cheap. Him for, I don't know, what do you think he signed for? $3-4 million? Probably fair. Hype chimes in and says, Simpson's 11 penalties, 8 were holds with Lamar. That is good. Okay. That is good. It is good. I want to share this tab. Give me a second. We'll pull this up. So let's do this. Okay, I'm going to minimize your comment, but just so we could see the whole thing. He also had 10 penalties in 2021 with Derek Carr. And obviously Derek Carr is not as much of a scrambling quarterback. So I don't know what all 10 penalties were. I guess we can go back and try to find, maybe I'll try to find that as well. But in the only 2 years he started, both seasons he's had 10 plus penalties. It does make me feel a little bit better, as you know, hype says that Simpsons of Simpsons 11, 8 were holds. Is there an NFL penalty tracker by player? There's got to be, right? Penalty statistics, football database. Okay. Search active players. Here we go. Simpson. Fumble statistics. What is this? This is what I'm looking at right now. I'll show you guys. I'm going to minimize your comment, but we're looking at fumble statistics, recent games. No. Defense, rushing. If we go back. Okay, so you're going to have John Simpson here. 10 penalties. 6 holdings, 2 false starts. 1 unnecessary roughness, and another is what is listed there for him. Wild Waves in here. What's going on? Patriots pushing for Ridley. Ridley a pat. Oh, no. Let's get back to the refresh. Do we have a breaking news? No. Okay, we got here. Oh, wrong tab. Please hold. New England is pushing to sign free agent receiver Calvin Ridley, but sources believe that he currently prefers to return to Jacksonville, and he has been discussing a deal with the Jaguars. That's the latest right now. And then you also had, I guess we could do a breaking news sounder for this one. Breaking news! Darius Williams gets a 3-year, $22.5 million deal, up to $30 million, signing with former Jaguars cornerback is signing to play a deal with the Rams. Sources say the place where he won a Super Bowl, expected to be a 3-year deal. That's our breaking news right now. What's up, Joshua? Nope, you haven't missed anything from the Jets today. It's been quiet so far. The latest, Darius Williams signed. Calvin Ridley is looking at either the Patriots or going back to Jacksonville. We'll see if another team gets in the mix there. Doug says, you should have started the stream at 8 p.m. Clearly, Joe Douglas does not make signings when the light is outside. This is true, but from 8 to 10, we'll be doing Talking Jets over on the Talking Jets channel. If you don't tune into that, myself, Ryan Greenbean, every single Tuesday night, we stream from 8 to 10 p.m., and we'll be reacting and talking free agency over there tonight. So no late night stream. I also have to record the podcast for tomorrow, which I have no idea how I'm going to do Just Jets this week, because I don't remember. I every year I forget how I do it with free agency, because, well, we can record it on a Tuesday for a Wednesday release, and then 3 guys sign, and it's like, oh, well, now what? Now what do you do? So my fear is that it could get dated rather quickly, which is obviously not great. What do you think about signing both Tyron and Bakhtiari, either for depth or move one to right tackle? I don't want to move Bakhtiari's position necessarily, have him switch sides of the line. Tyron and Bakhtiari, and just pray that you get a 17 combined games. Maybe that's the move. I might rather go maybe like a Tyron and a rookie. Do it that way. Brenton says, is Cam Curl worth a look? Doubt he'll garner huge money. Yeah, I don't think he would get big money. That's a good call out by you. I just don't see the Jets spending a lot of money on that position. Maybe I'm wrong here. Although PFF is projecting his contract, and then they've been pretty good with it. They are projecting 4 years, $46 million, $11.5 million AAV for Cam Curl. I don't think the Jets would go that high. Again, maybe they do. Maybe they do spend a little bit of money for safety, but I think that would surprise me. Peter from the beautiful Hudson Valley says, do you think JD trades for either Bowles or Robinson instead of signing Smith or Bakhtiari? I think they absolutely should explore the trade market. They have controllable contracts there. Well, please hold, Peter. We'll come back to your comment, but we got the breaking news sounder. Breaking news. Breaking NFL news. Switch the tab. Free agent Derrick Henry is signing a 2-year, $16 million deal worth up to $20 million, including $9 million fully guaranteed in the first year with the Baltimore Ravens. The King now will play in the Queen City. Kind of looks good in that Ravens. Like, I don't know. You ever see some of these Photoshops and you're like, that looks weird. And then others where it's like, oh, that looks pretty good. I think this looks good. I could totally see Derrick Henry as a Baltimore Raven. Like, remember Willis McGahee at the end of his career as a Raven? That one just made a ton of sense. That was a good one. But sorry, Peter, sorry to cut you off. But to go back to your comment, I think that, yes, the Jets should be active in the trade market. Cam Robinson or Bowles. Can they swing a deal for both Bowles and Sutton? That would be pretty electric. Send them Zach, too. Why not? Kill 3 birds, 1 stone. You move Zack Wilson, you find a plan at left tackle, you add a wide receiver too. Now we're swinging. Now we're coming up with some ideas here. I like it. All right, hang on. The guy, we got the dog scratching at the door again. Give me a second, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Casey, come on. Let's go. Come on in. Hop on. All right, we're back. Yoshi says he looks like a Raven. He does. He does look like a Raven. That he screams Baltimore Raven. Look at it. We'll look online to see if we get any other Photoshops, but it just makes all the sense in the world. Yeah, I saw this one. Kyle Kaz comes in and says Calvin Ridley likely return to the Jags. That's the latest there. New England pushing to sign free agent wide receiver Calvin Ridley, but he has been discussing a deal with the Jags. Just spending a ton of money, man. Some teams are just able to swing and spend some money. How are they going to pay Kirk, Ridley, and Gabe Davis all this money? That's what I want to know. Joshua says, do you think we have enough draft capital for T. Higgins? I don't, because I don't think they could give up a first this year. They need their pick 10. They don't have a second rounder. If they'll take the second next year and a mix of mid-round picks this year, maybe they do. I don't think that's something the Jets will end up being in on, though. Danny says we got to restructure contracts. That is true. There's some easy ones that they could still do, though. Fully signed. Foley Fadukasi is a Texan, I believe. I believe he did. Yeah, he did sign a 1-year deal with the Texans. Oh, baby. Our man Matt is back. He was a big part of it yesterday. Appreciate you, Matt, checking in. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the super chat. Glad to have you back. Do you like Boyd? Yes, I do, John. I do like Tyler Boyd. I think that would be a good pivot point for the Jets. As Derrick Henry tweets out, Flock Nation. I swear it's up. I swear it's up. I don't know. I apologize. I might have got that one wrong. Who will be the next Jet? The next Jet is going to be, we'll go off the board. We're going to go off the board. It's going to be, you want me to say Ridley, you want me to say Boyd. It's going to be a rando. What rando is it going to be? Maybe not a safety. What if it's like a depth tackle, like a tackle that we're not even thinking of? Like, did Cam Fleming get signed? What if it's like Cam Fleming? You are a New York Jet. Boyd or Tyron Smith is next, says Matt. That'll be a great one. Sign me up for that. APD asked restructure who? Mosley, Reed? Let's pull it up. The Jets restructures. There's a lot of different guys that they could restructure. I would extend DJ Reed, by the way, but you can restructure him. So if you restructure CJ Mosley, that's $10.5 million. JFM is $9.2 million. Reed is $7 million. Lazard, I would leave alone. Uzama's gone, so that one doesn't count. But I would say at a minimum, Mosley, JFM, which is almost $20 million between the two, and maybe Reed. AJ says, I bet the next move is a Zack Wilson trade. Ooh, okay. Where do you think Zack Wilson goes is my question. What team do we think he goes to? Is it Minnesota? Obviously, Sam Darnold just went out there to Minnesota. Could we get a Sam Darnold, Zack Wilson room? I could totally see that. That'd be pretty wild. Tom says, mark my words, but I will be the starting left tackle for the Jets. Fire Joe Douglas and Salad. Tom, I don't think that's something you have to worry about with how Mekhi Becton's come out and talked about Keith Carter and just some of these other things that he said and how things have gone with the Jets. I think both sides want to move on. I understand the frustration, though, guys. I get it. I would just be absolutely stunned if that's the case. Extend Reed, says Matt Z. 4 years, $64 million, 40 guaranteed. Okay, so 4 for 64 is $16 million a year. Sounds about right. That would put him, around the 10th highest paid corner, potentially? By AAV wise, anyway. We'll sort it by AAV. Let's do that. Sorry, over the cap is running really slow, as you might imagine, because there's I'm sure a ton of people on their site. But let's do this. We'll do it this way, maybe. Positions, cornerback. And we're just gonna get the spinning wheel here. We're not gonna update it. No, it doesn't look like it's going. But again, sorry, moral of the story, that seems like a fair value deal. I would guess between 14 and 16 million AAV for him. And I would do it. I think he's worth that money. We got some more super chats. John says these streams make free agency a whole lot better. Cheers, John. Thank you so much. It's so much better. Like, we'd all be doing the same thing, right? Refreshing Twitter, just waiting for something to happen. But doing it together, getting in on the chat, it does make it that much better. I like it. V-Man, what's going on, V-Man? What happens first? Jets make a move, or I convince my senile grandfather he wasn't alive at the same time as Ponce de Leon. Come on. Oh, there's no way. V-Man. I'm gonna take my money on the Jets making a move before you convince your grandfather he was not alive at the same time as Ponce de Leon. Oh, that's good. That's fantastic. V-Man, if you're not doing anything, call in. There's a link in there. Andrew Russell says, what do you think if we did a pick swap with Higgins added in with the Bengals. Okay, so let's pull up the draft tech value chart. I think we did that yesterday, but for those who missed it, we'll do it again. And it's a good discussion point. So here's a look at where the Jets are. 1,300 is the value for pick 10. The Bengals are 900. So that's essentially the gap of a second round pick, right? So I don't think you'd get T. Higgins for just a second round pick. My guess would be maybe it's move down and you also give in your third, because then that essentially puts it as like a back half of the first round. And if you move back to 18, then you're probably looking at like Troy Fontenot, maybe J.C. Latham, someone like that. It's interesting. It's an interesting thought. I do think you'd have to add something else to it, because that moving down is only about the same as giving a late or mid second round pick. I think you'd have to add probably your third round pick to it. But not a bad thought. John says, I think we add 2 mid-range wide receivers rather than 1 star. Okay. What would you classify as mid-range receivers then? Like a Boyd and Samuel? We could look at some of the free agent wide receivers that are left. I know U Stadium had it from earlier today. The list, I very much so enjoy their list. I should favorite it, but it's going to be updated soon, so maybe that's not the right call. Share this tab instead. Ridley, Boyd, Hollywood Brown, Mooney's gone, Curtis Samuel. So with 2 mid wide receivers, and not mid but mid range receivers, be Boyd and Samuel, Josh Reynolds and Samuel. Valdez-Scantling's going to be a name to watch because of the connection with Rodgers. Odell's going to be a connection to watch because of their interest last year. Russell Gage doesn't really move the needle. Van Jefferson doesn't do a lot. Devontae Parker doesn't really do a lot for me. I would say my favorites on this list are Ridley, Boyd, Samuel, Reynolds, and then you're getting into that Odell MVS range. Kevin Zeitler is a New York Jet, Eric says. Manifesting, though. Good thing, good to manifest it. You did get me at first. I only read Kevin Zeitler as a New York Jet, and I was about to get very excited. But unfortunately, not the case yet. We will see. We're going to hit a breaking news before we go back to the call. Breaking news. Bengals free agent tight end Irv Smith reached an agreement on a 1-year deal with the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, we have a couple guys waiting on the line to get in, but we got to go to the legend himself, Vman. Oh, Vman, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
Right now, I'm in a nursing home. Okay, so you obviously know who I'm visiting.
Okay. Yes. How's Ponce?
My grandfather, ask him yourself.
Hi, Grandpa Vman.
Senor, say hello. Say hello, senor. Say something.
Hola, senor.
Yeah, he's very like whenever I put him on the camera, he immediately stops talking.
That's okay. He's a little camera shy.
We just got up here, just got him up, just got him. Yeah, but no, honestly, I wasn't kidding about that. I was not kidding. Like he once said he was over 500 years old.
Really?
Yes, and I was there with my uncle at the time, and I asked him I said, how old are you? 500, and I'm like, so you were alive the same time as Pop? Yes, and then he said we were roommates.
Roommates. There we go. V-Man, can we get your live reaction? The Jets signed a defensive tackle.
Well, they signed another one?
Leki Fotu.
I don't know anything Because nobody pays attention to the Cardinals. Not even the state of Arizona.
No, I can't. I did call that it was going to be someone random, so I did get that one.
Well, I guess they signed someone before I can convince you you're not 500. Say something. Say something, senor. Say something.
No way.
He's just there. He's just staring.
That's okay.
Yeah, no. Hopefully it's a good signing. That's all I can say.
I hope so. Well, you're a good grandson for going with your grandfather.
Oh, so what do you imagine? What are you? So I was saying, what are you doing for St. Patrick?
So okay, my buddy's birthday is the 15th, and then his girlfriend is the 17th, actual St. Patrick's Day. So we're going out on the 16th, the Saturday, to some bars in Queens. So I'll be out drinking all the Jameson.
What was that? Sorry, they're moving stuff in the background. What was it?
I'm going out drinking in Queens, and I will have all the Jameson.
And unfortunately, I'm off Saturday. Maybe I might see if I can bump into you.
Yes, come on down. Come down to the city. That'd be appreciated.
All right. Well,
thank you, man.
All right. Thanks. Peace.
Enjoy your day. All right. So we have some news. The Jets signed Buffalo Jet, I think, had the best reaction. We're gonna go. Our friend Doug is back waiting, so we're gonna get him on next as well. But 335 Samoan down, a Samoan dude. I'm sold for the interior defensive line. He's basically Sione Puha, is what I'm coming away with. Hang on, Doug's barking wants to get out. We'll come back. We'll bring Doug on and we'll react. All right, you're out for good this time. You're not coming back in. All right. Let's get who better than to check in with Doug for the big free agency signing of day 2. What's the moves? What do we think?
I think it's never bad to have Samoans on your team.
Yeah, give me all the Samoan big defensive linemen.
Well, I mean, offensive lineman. There's what's his face on the. Sorry, hold on. Sorry, on the Lions offensive tackle.
The Lions offensive tackle.
What's his name?
Penei Sewell?
Yeah, big Samoan.
Okay.
There you go.
That's true.
Makes never bad to have big Samoans. They usually play well. I mean, he's gonna be a run stuffer. He's just a big boy. Put him in the middle and just go stuff the run.
I think so. It's.
I mean, I was just looking him up because I saw Connor Hughes was the one to break it.
Okay.
And I've obviously never heard of him before because I've never watched a Cardinals game in my life.
Nor should you.
No, unless they're playing the Jets. I don't really watch the Cardinals play football. So I looked him up. He's only 25, was a 4th round pick, and went to Utah.
He's a 4th round pick. Okay. When was he drafted? 2020?
Yeah, 2020.
Okay. He had 2.5 sacks last year.
Yeah, he was a 4th round pick, 114th overall. Went to Utah. Yeah, career statistics 3.5 sacks. So I don't know why, but he has a 4th fumble, 3 pass deflections.
Oh, okay. So he's getting his hand up.
He is big boy. Just put him in the middle, see what he does.
I think that's literally the only play you could have at this point. With it.
I don't think it's coming off the edge for you.
No, not at 340, 6'5" or 6'3", 325. Sorry.
But like for all the shit that Robert Saleh and the Jets get, you can't say he doesn't know how to develop defensive players. So who knows?
I don't know. Again, you plug him in the middle and you hope for the best. I think that's the move here.
So then that means Quentin Jefferson's probably not coming back. I think Al Woods is going to retire because close to 40. So
yeah, and coming off what was it, ACL or Achilles for Al Woods?
Achilles.
It was.
Achilles. And for him, it's a lot different than Aaron Rodgers. It's a lot of weight to put back onto that Achilles, and he's a big boy. So
yeah, and at that age too, for defensive tackle and for that recovery, that's tough for him to come. I'd be surprised if he plays again.
So would I.
What are we eating today? What do we got? Anything good?
Cheetos for lunch.
What'd you get?
taquitos. Like,
Oh,
you know, like,
taquitos. Okay.
I
Taquitos.
just had to put. I put them in the air fryer earlier. Got some taquitos. Got some ranch. I needed lunch. Gotta
Yeah.
eat.
There we go. I heated up frozen pizza before I hopped on here.
What brand?
I couldn't even tell you. I'm celiac, so it was a gluten-free pizza. So it's not even that good.
Gotcha. My mom's celiac, so I get it.
Okay, so I'm not gluten-free by choice, but it's a tough life we live.
Trust me, I understand. My mom's like celiac, not full celiac, but she has like
Symptoms of it. Okay.
Yeah. So, but that must suck. Soy's great. Soy's the best.
Yeah, can't relate.
Well,
all right.
Later points.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Doug. That's our hourly check-in from Doug. Just about. Love it. We have some super chats that we got to get to. Mike D's Life says, I have a PC, a PS5, and a cell phone watching all of these streams. Cheers, Matt, for all you do, brother. Mike D's Life, I appreciate it, man. It's fun. It's a lot, but it's fun. And I love how, all the different Jet guys could get going on their streams and get all the interaction and stuff. We have 500 people popping in here. Hughes, John pops back in and says, Hughes just reported Jet signed Leki Fotu, Fotu. And then not sure specifically, JD is value shopping. It is. It's been very, very, very value. Johnny's back and he's got a new hat. Let's see. We're going with, I like this one. This is my favorite one so far, I think.
Yeah, this was a dope one. But hey, Matt, I did want to throw something out. I was talking to one of the good friends. He watches your show, Dano, right? And he wanted to throw this out there, which kind of agree with him. Now, I don't want to get rid of DJ Reed. I would love DJ Reed to be with us and all that. But is he really in the plans long term, right?
Okay.
Cincinnati comes to us and says, swap DJ Reed, give me Higgins, and a fourth. Do we do it?
That's a little bit more intriguing. I don't think the Jets would want to do that though. Because I think they really value having those two lockdown corners, and with their defense is built on, we're going to lock you down with our corner trio and get after the quarterback with our pass rush, and then kind of just get by on the back end at safety. So what would their plan, I guess, be for replacing Reed would be my follow-up question to that.
Get somebody in the draft cheaper, right? Long term.
Matt Z is not a fan. He says, don't break up the best secondary in the league. It's tough because you might have to make those decisions to improve the offense. I get where you're coming from. I don't think it's a crazy thought. That's not my preferred route to go to try to fix the offense, though.
Yeah, it's an intriguing one. I want to give the recognition to Dano, because he was the one that brought that up in our little group chat that we have and all that, and it was intriguing. So I was like, you know what? Let me let Matt know about it, see what he thinks. I mean, now again, I don't want to throw DJ Reed out there, but it's just a huge what if.
Okay.
Right? If we go ahead and put that in there, like, is he long-term going to be here with us? Right? How does that work? What is he going to ask? I mean, Higgins, does he fine with being he is number 2 anyway already. But
yeah, he wasn't, since he might want to go somewhere where he could be a number 1.
Yeah, so I don't know, just intriguing. And then it's huge. Dude, that signing, I think that's the Alwood replacement.
Yeah,
right there, big boy. Hey, dude, and I think he's Samoan, bro. I'm all about some Samoan players, man.
Yeah,
these are great.
Poor man Sione Puha from back in the day.
Yeah, I'll take it if he could be anywhere that close next to Q Williams like that. I mean, dude, we're low key. Like, JD is doing some good moves. I think so. At least it's not the really big, huge giant moves that everybody's wanting us to do and stuff like that. But I think he's trying to get us in a position where the draft is starting to become super, super intriguing to see what we're going to really do now in there. So, because I think we could teeter and totter between going offense or offense. There's no other.
The line or a weapon, right? The back and forth. So
Exactly.
one offensive lineman down, They got to add a couple more before we get into those, take a weapon or take offensive lineman talks. But yeah, it's been slow moving, but they're moving. They're getting some depth pieces in here through free agency, it seems.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you, man. I'll keep. I got you in the background while I'm working. So
I love it. I appreciate it, Johnny. Thanks for being with us.
Later, dude.
Love it. Yeah, Matt's not a big fan of that one. Says don't break up the unit. I wouldn't. I think there are other ways to improve the offense than having to trade away DJ Reed. Because, like I said, that's the identity of what they want to do on defense. They want to have 3 guys who can cover, and they want to get after the quarterback. They don't have to blitz. They get home with their front 4. They lock you up in coverage, and that's how they win. Or in theory. Apparently, I'm not going to play the clip because it's going to get me not demonetized, but it'll hit me with the copyright. Deion Dawkins was on Up and Adams, where he was talking about free agency, and the quote says, "As long as we're not getting no Jets, guys, we good." He's a heel. A guy plays a heel. Speaking of locking down, Jets got to extend Carter. They do. I don't disagree with that. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Matt is on the line. Matt, what's going on, my friend? How are you today?
I'm all right. It's just every time someone brings up trading DJ Reed, I just absolutely lose it. Please, for the love of God, DJ Reed, Michael Carter, and Sauce Gardner is the best cornerback trio in the league, and it is not close. We play in a conference that has Jamar Chase. It has Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, every possible, nearly every elite receiver. Most of the elite receivers I see are in the AFC. And we play against nearly every one of those teams every year. So, for the love of God, please do not trade DJ Reed. You can extend him for 4 more years, and he will still be here. He will still be performing at a high level. You can address the offense some other way. It's just I've seen that throughout the offseason. I've seen people kind of floating that idea, and I'm like, please do not. Please just extend him, lower his cap number, and fix the offense somewhere else.
That's the preference.
I've seen it.
He's still only 27 years old. He just turned 27 in November.
And he's on top of that, just a really good guy too. I don't know if you've ever seen him on they had him mic'd up for a few practices. The way he interacts with his teammates, the way he works himself, he's a really good culture fit as well. I really don't want to lose him.
I don't remember if it was Hard Knocks or One Jets Drive, but I feel like there was mic'd up moments of him talking with the defense during one of those combined practices against either Carolina or Tampa Bay. Mm-hmm. But he's obviously CJ Mosley and Quinnen are the leaders, captains on that defense. But Reed's right there, man. He's really well respected in that room.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to lose him. And that's why I was saying that contract. I mean, he was originally signed. I think it was a 3-year, $33 million. So that's about an $11 million per year average. And he's played well enough that I feel like if you go up to a $16 million per year average, he's justified it. You lower the cap number for right now, and you're able to keep together what I view as I say this in all seriousness is the best cornerback trio in the league. I mean, you don't have a cornerback room that is better than the New York Jets right now, and that's so valuable in today's gauntlet of wide receivers.
Yeah, and like you said, especially in the conference you play in, you got to play against the Dolphins, you got to play against the Chiefs, and I'm sure the Bengals, all these teams who are going to have big time weapons. You got to be able to cover. So I'm with you on it. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, well, that's every time someone says it, I immediately get fired up and I have to rant to someone about it. And if it's not you, it's in a text message to one of my friends. So, I'm glad the phone line was open today.
There we go. Matt, I appreciate you hanging out with us, checking in and supporting the show. Means a lot. We'll talk soon. All right.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you to Matt. We're going to go back to the super chats. Kevin Sanchez says trading for Sutton while also taking a wide receiver at 72 or signing Curtis Samuel is the better way to go. Can't weaken the strong secondary. Hard agree. whether it's Sutton, Deontay Johnson, a name we're not thinking of right now, a 4th round pick for a guy on a controllable contract, I think is worth it. I don't think the Jets have 8 draft picks. I don't think they need to sit and, stay put and draft 8 guys. I think they should move around the board, maximize and weaponize their draft capital for, established players or players who could impact you more so in 24 and 25 than, 3-4 years down the line when they develop. I agree with this. I feel like a broken record talking about Cortland Sutton because I've done it so much, but it's a good fit. Deontay Johnson's a good fit. Somebody in here. But I don't want to trade DJ Reed it's an interesting thought exercise, but I don't think it's something that they're actually going to do. Mr. Downtown wants to know, who is Leki Fotu? He's a big interior defensive lineman. Big interior defensive lineman, probably going to stop the run, is going to be my guess. Someone in the chat said Reed is a weak link. Let me see. Let me see if we can get that up here. Reed is a weak link.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here.
Come on now. We can't be saying that. Come on, guys. What else we got? The weak link was Whitehead. Not bad. We did that one. Sorry. I'm trying to catch up on these chats. I was a little bit behind on the chat right now. But look, we could pull up some Fotu if you want. Why not? 2020 draft pick. He's 25 years old. He had 7 pressures, 3 sacks, a couple of hurries. He's a good enough tackler. I mean, there was a couple games where he missed some spots in week 4 against San Fran, but overall, just going to stop the interior. That's what I think anyway. Up next, we're going to go back to the lines, go to the legend Connor calling in. Connor, what's up, my friend? How are you?
Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Doing good. What do you think so far today?
Well, we signed this Fotu guy. I mean, it looks like if Jordan Mailata played defense. So I don't know. Looks like a big guy. I think so. Here's why I think the Jets signed him.
Okay.
I think Joe Douglas was sleeping when Fatu Kasi got signed, and when he was looking at the list of free agents, he thought Fatu was an abbreviation of Fatu Kasi. So I think he signed the wrong person. I think he was really meaning to sign fully Fatu Kasi. But in all seriousness, I mean, like you mentioned, I was listening in the car. You mentioned the pass deflections and the forced fumbles. I mean, I guess that's all right, but this isn't a guy who can start. I'd expect him to probably be scratched a bunch of games this year. Don't really see him playing a ton. I mean, maybe he has a great preseason and he works his way up to maybe playing 15% of the snaps. I don't know, but I'm still waiting for that one big name to come the Jets' way.
Yeah, it's been quiet, right? Like it hasn't been the big guys. When we talked last night, they hadn't signed anybody.
Yes.
And they signed, Tyrod Taylor, Simpson. They add a couple guys on the interior.
Kinlaw.
That's right. So I guess I haven't heard your take on the some of the guys they signed from last night. What'd you end up thinking of that?
So Kinlaw is someone I've always been really big on his whole career. I think he's very solid. I mean, Greenlaw and Kinlaw, both the Laws from the Niners. I think both them Very solid players. We got Kinlaw, solid. Tyrod Taylor was by far my favorite. Tyrod Taylor, I personally thought he was the best backup in football last year. One of, I mean, you have like Jacoby, arguably like a top 3, top 5 guy. Very, very solid. Veteran, proven guy. And then this John Simpson dude, like, he's fine. No, I can't complain. I don't know enough about him to really hate him, but I still need Zeitler. I
Yeah.
know we talked about Zeitler last night. I need him. I really need Zeitler, Tyron Smith, and then like a Calvin Ridley, hopefully a T. Higgins or like a Cortland Sutton or someone like that.
Yeah, Zeitler's been weird because I haven't even really seen him linked to any teams yet.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like
Yeah.
that's a name, I've been refreshing. I'm sure you have as well the last
Yeah.
2 days, and it's been quiet. I haven't really heard much on him. So who knows? Maybe that'd be an under the radar move. It feels like all these Jets signings, it's not like, oh, the Jets are interested in this guy, and then 3 hours later they sign. It's like it kind of pops out of nowhere. So maybe we'll get something like that.
I hope so. I mean, the reporting, I just like there have been players that we thought the Jets were going to be so interested in that signed, and then we get like a Diana Rossini report that says we weren't even interested in this guy, or we sign someone like this guy Fatu or Samson, and or even Kinlaw. If you really think about it, like we needed defensive tackle help. No one really said Kinlaw.
Yeah, you were cutting out a little bit there. What were you saying about Kinlaw? Sorry.
Sorry, I said defensive tackle help, and
Yeah. No, I think adding on the interior on the defensive line is a smart move. You're kind of replacing Solomon Thomas and Al Woods and Quentin Jefferson by the 2 moves that they made today. I think that was a wise choice. And I know like we want the offense, but these were things that like they needed depth on the interior of the defensive line. So hard to hate those 2 signings, I think, anyway.
Yeah, I agree. Just like I said, waiting for the Tyron Smith news to break, waiting for something like that. Hopefully, I'm praying. I need it.
Absolutely. Any other thoughts before we let you go, Connor? Predictions?
I don't see the Jets signing another player today. I mean, I hope I do. I hope I'm wrong. But I really just don't. I really don't see them going after anyone today. At least anyone that we know or.
All right. Well, Connor, thank you so much for checking in. Make sure if you're not subscribed to Connor's channel, make sure to do that as well.
I appreciate it, Matt. I have one more. Question.
Yeah, hit me. Gonna be honest, didn't hear you. You started your question and then it cut out for some reason. I don't know why. Hang on. Let me try something. 1 second. Let's do this. Let's remove and then add him. Try talking again. It's still muted. I don't know what. It's so weird. You were talking, it was coming through fine. I don't know if it's a connection issue, maybe on my end or what. But
Hello?
yeah, okay. I heard you then.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. So how'd you get it on StreamYard where like you don't show the names under the actual photo?
Okay. So under brand, there's 2 options. You can go brand color and then theme. And if you have show display names checked, that pops up. But if you uncheck it, it goes away.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate it. That's what I'm gonna do.
All right. Appreciate it, Connor. Thank you so much for hopping in.
Have a good rest of your day. Please do something, Joe Douglas.
Love it. Good stuff from Connor there. As always, ton of fun hopping on with him yesterday. All right, let's pop into it. Matt says, I'm changing my job title to on LinkedIn to DJ Reed Police. I like that. I like that a lot. It's accurate. And that's why Connor was here. I was thinking that too. Apparently, Connor had parent-teacher conferences today, so he was able to hop in with us. Good stuff. Love that. Browns are re-signing. Oh, we could do a breaking news because of Zach Rosenblatt. Breaking news. It's not necessarily Jets related, but he did break a story, so I feel like we got to put it up. The Browns have re-signed Michael Dunn to a 1-year deal per source. There we go. Tyron Smith. Uh-oh. Are there a couple? Did Tyron Smith news happen? Or are we just talking like this is what we want to see happen? Don't scare me like that. See, I refreshed and then got Connor Hughes is breaking. The Jets are signing Cardinals Leki Fotu. And then I thought that Tyron Smith was signed. So you all got me excited for nothing. Johnny said, who's more important, DJ Reed or MC2? That's the combo that needs to be had. So Michael Carter would be cheaper because slot corners don't get as much as outside corners. Like the top of the market slot guys are getting 10 million, where a top of the market outside corner is going to get 20. And not that DJ Reed would get 20. He'd probably get like 15. So you have to ask yourself if you'd rather the 10 million slot or the 15 million cornerback 2. I think they at least have him through this window. Like, I don't know. If you're going for it with Aaron Rodgers in the next 2-3 years, I think you want DJ Reed here. Beyond that is TBD. We want to happen. No, I was asking if we'd rather have Bakhtiari or Tyron Smith. My bad, guys. I was between the calls and refreshing Twitter, trying to keep up on the chat as well. I get a little lost at times. It's like, holy shit, did Tyron Smith sign and I just missed it? Is that what happened here? Okay, we do have some breaking Jets news. Not a signing, but an update on one of these contracts. Breaking news! We have Jeremy Fowler reporting that Leki Fotu for the Jets, 2.5 million base with upside to 4 million. New York Jets add defensive line depth. There you go. So toss a retweet on that. He's incredibly cheap upgrade, not upgrade, but replacement for like an Al Woods that's my best comp for it. Have we seen any Fotu highlights on the timeline? We could pop some of those on screen if it's tape, and because if it's game video, then that's going to be tough to. That one's going to be tough to swing. I think I saw Will Parkinson tweeted him. Let me see if I could do that. Here we go. Let's look. We can look at the tape. Thank you, Will Parkinson, for this. Here is Fotu's 8 career quarterback hits. Look at him, big boy with the flowing long hair. This is Sione Puha reincarnated. There we go. Look at that. Wrapping up Deshaun Watson. He's going to get Sam Howell. How long does Sam Howell hold on to the ball in this clip? 45 minutes? Oh, he catches up to him? Kind of like knocked him out of bounds. All right. Okay. Against the Rams. Did he get to the court? I guess he did. It was late. Did he get penalized on that? Interesting. He had Andy Dalton. There we go. Who's next? Who's this? Beathard? Who's 3? Oh, that was a horrendous pass. It was just weird. It should have been caught, but that was a weird play. Oh, and then Jalen Hurts. Okay. Jalen Hurts is number 2, so this is a few years ago. Sacked him. There we go. Good stuff. That's enough of that. Thanks for the cheese. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. Trade for Deontay Johnson. Should be cheap, and there's 1 year left on his contract. Resign if he performs and is good in the locker room. Sign an offensive tackle. Draft 1 OT. First round OT, third round wide receiver. I could see that. Deontay Johnson's contract is, if you trade for it, pretty reasonable, all things considered. It's a $7 million base salary. His cap hit for Pittsburgh is 15.8, but his base salary is $7 million. So it's not going to be nearly that much. It saves them $10 million to let's see, on a trade. Yeah, in a trade, it still saves them money. I think it makes sense for both sides. Oh, this is news. Johnny says Freeport used to beat the bricks off of us when I played for Hempstead. There you go. Nice. I'm a South Side alum, so I'm not too far from you, Johnny, from where you grew up. We didn't play Hempstead, though, but I played Baldwin Bombers. I'm sure you've heard, if you're from Hempstead, I'm sure you heard of the Baldwin Bombers. And we played Hempstead then, and we lost to Hempstead in the playoffs, so that really bothered me. 9-year-old Matt O'Leary is very upset by that. Let's do a look at Twitter. New homes for the running backs. Derrick Henry to the Ravens. Aaron Jones to the Vikings. Joe Mixon to the Texans. Zach Moss to the Bengals. Saquon Barkley to the Eagles. Josh Jacobs to the Packers. Eckler to the Commanders. Tony Pollard to the Titans. Swift to the Bears. Singletary to the Giants. Gus Edwards to the Chargers. Gibson to the Patriots. A lot of moving parts. A lot of running backs on the move. Maybe that's something else the Jets will do today. Maybe they'll add a RB2. There you go. Remember the Garden City scrimmage? There you go. Did we play Garden City? I don't remember. It's possible. Highly possible. Zeke to the Jets. Honestly. Short yardage guy. Not a bad short yardage guy. I went to Southside in Rockville Center. We have the details of Aaron Jones's contract. Oh, that's bizarre. Aaron Jones contract, original Green Bay deal, $11 million base, $1 million incentive. Final Green Bay offer, a little less than $4 million, $2 million in incentives. Vikings, $6 million base, $1 million of incentives. Jones wanted to retire in Green Bay, but didn't want to take another hometown discount of that magnitude. Yeah, that's a that's a big difference. I can't say that I blame him for that one. I didn't see the Kinlaw numbers. I don't think it would be a lot. I think it would probably be similar to what they just signed. Maybe 3 million, 4 million at most. Joe, the Jets says they're looking at Bo Nix. Let's see. Do they have a scout there? Oh, yeah, they do. The Jets have 5 scouts there, but I mean that you could spin it that they're looking at Bo Nix. You could also spin it that they're looking at Jackson Powers Johnson, or maybe their D line or DBs. Yeah, that's what Matthew Miller chimes in and goes, Jets are there for JPJ. I tend to agree with you there. If they trade back, like the one we were talking about in the Bengals trade back scenario to 18, that would be a target. Depending on what you want to do with Joe Tippmann, if you want him at center or guard. Center or guard. It's been a little boring today so far. It hasn't been as active, even like not just the Jets. Like, I don't know. If you look at Adam Schefter's feed, it's been relatively quiet. You had Derrick Henry, but that was like 45 minutes ago. And Irv Smith. And then it was, Calvin Ridley wants to go back to Jacksonville, but the Patriots are kicking the tires on him. Dom C, we trust his scouting. We love Dom C. Make sure to tune in to his and Ryan's show on Talking Jets on Monday nights. Says, Fotu is your Al Woods replacement. Is he spectacular? No, but let's be honest, neither was Woods. Both guys serve as purpose. Expect the same 12 to 15 reps per game to stuff the run on early downs. Now it's just a 25-year-old doing it in the place of a 36-year-old. It's fine. It's a fine move. Yeah, good point by Matt. I wonder why Danielle Hunter hasn't signed. There's still some big names left, but there just hasn't been. Feels like there hasn't been as much movement today. Matthew asks what I think about Joe Milton. I don't really like him. He has a cannon for an arm, but looked pretty terrible during the Senior Bowl practices and the Senior Bowl game. He's not my favorite developmental guy. Michael Pratt, Jordan Travis, Spencer Rattler, one of those three would be my choice for a developmental piece. How do you feel about trading for Keenan Allen? I don't think I'd want to give up a lot for Keenan Allen at his age. He's someone who's going to miss time also. It feels like every year. He has a contract. His base salary is $18 million, so it's a lot. They save a ton of money if they trade him. I don't think he would cost you a lot because it's kind of a cap dump on their end. But in 13 games, he had 1,200 yards, so the guy can still play. That's obvious. Eastu, can I throw in another name for you? Sawanika's Vinny Testaverde. DeBrickashaw, though, is a legend for, obviously, Freeport. Matty boy, I didn't know you were from RBC. I also grew up there. Funny thing, Greg Van Roten was the Southside Middle School quarterback back in the day. Yeah, he ended up going to Chaminade, I believe, right? I knew that he was a Rockville Center guy. Southside Middle School quarterback back in the day. How old? So when was Van Roten? I must have missed him by a few years. Let's see. Yeah, he's 5 years older than me. So I did play football in middle school, but that was like 2008. And I wasn't good. I was not a good football player. I will fully admit that. Not a good football player. Better baseball player. Not a great baseball player either, but that was my main sport. Yeah, GVR 5 years older than me. So our paths did not cross, but I guess he was coached by Mr. C, the legend. I had him in elementary school. If you know, you know. If you know Mr. C, you know, that guy's an absolute legend. Can you bring back Bobby from yesterday as a co-host? See, Bobby was fantastic. Bobby was stellar. I would love to get him back on. He was an electric personality. Vman's call today was probably on par with Bobby's from yesterday. We've had some really great calls in the last 2 days doing this. Rob Moore came from Hempstead. That's a good one. And was the first overall pick in the supplemental draft in 1990 for the Jets. Had 1,000-yard season. Had from 91 and 90, I mean 692 yards, 6 touchdowns. Not bad, but he was pretty solid for the Jets. He was a Pro Bowler one year. He was an All-Pro in 97 in Arizona. Better player in Arizona than he was with the Jets, but solid receiver. Yeah, football was was not good. Women's soccer and lacrosse, but girls soccer was incredible. They won states like every year. And Crystal Dunn was a senior when I was a freshman at Southside, and she is on the U.S. Olympic team and supposedly a good player on that team. From Quebec says, hi, Matt. Do you think we can go for Hollywood Brown and Boyd? Rodgers would love it. I think they would too. I don't think they could do both. Hollywood Brown, if Darnell Mooney coming off a 400-yard season is getting $13 million, I think Hollywood Brown is going to get, man, I don't know, 16? He had 574 yards and 4 touchdowns in Arizona last year. In 2022, he had 709 yards and 3 touchdowns. His best year was in 2021 with Baltimore, 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. I think he's going to get some money. Johnny's back with a new hat. The camo this time. I kind of like the camo too, actually.
Yeah, camo's because he likes my stickers and stuff. So,
okay.
Hey, dude, but the whole conversation in regards, just going real quick back. I'm sorry, man.
No, you're good.
With the whole DJ Reed stuff, right? I feel like, and this is another thing to Dana. It's all him, right? But he's saying if we were to extend MC2 right now, because we know that knowing that MC2 is probably going to be like an old pro, right? It would help us extend him now compared to the future where he might cost us a lot more. And then that was his whole stuff. That was his whole thing.
We have him here. So I think we should put him on. We'll have the both of you on at the same time. Why not? Let's get him in.
Oh, let's do it.
Dane, what's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, double penetration.
I love it.
Taking over the O'Leary stream. What's going on, man?
Hey, not too much, man. I was thinking of calling in anyway, so when I heard my name come up, I was like, why not show some face?
Yeah, might as well.
The last time I was on here, I had a really good take, and I was thinking of just retiring my O'Leary visits, but no, I can't, man. You're one of the easiest ones to talk to, so.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
You actually give some dialogue, you know. It's kind of hard to just hop up here and pitch a 90-second monologue, you know.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. So doing a little bit of back and forth, but so I guess it's easy to see where you came up with the idea, but is your case then, I don't want to make it for you, but is your case that you just rather extend Michael Carter and he's the better piece long term?
So it wasn't really my take. I've seen it whispered in a few different corners, and it kind of pissed me off, to be honest, because I feel like I know DJ Reed a little bit, and I feel like he would definitely play ball with us as far as negotiating. I don't think that he would rake us over a barrel. I really don't. I don't think he wants to be the man on another team that bad either. Like, if anybody is a Jet, I think it's DJ. And I think he'd be willing to take like 10, 12 max rather than 15, 16 somewhere else. But with Huff walking for nothing, it's gonna be the next conversation on a lot of people's minds. And I just got so tired of hearing the same things rehashed that I'm just looking ahead, you know. So like I said, the only reason I would do it is if I knew that he did insist on testing free agency, because then you're looking at a 1-year rental versus collateral, and that's a whole nother topic. You know what I mean?
No, it is. And if you were to do it, I don't think you do it just for
another rental.
Yeah, or no, well, another rental, or also just picks, because you need guys who could help you right now if you're going for it in 2024. Like, I know he's obviously, a free agent after 2024, but if you're trading him for a second round pick this year, what's going to be more impactful to you now? Is it Reed or the second round? They're probably, I would say, Reed.
And I mean, I would feel like next man up would be okay, considering we'd have Sauce and MC2. But being a win now year, and I think we're going to be playing from ahead a lot, I do not want to test that next man up that badly.
But Dano, if we had, right, let's just go ahead and say that we call Cincinnati and we're like, look, I know you guys need a corner. We're willing to give up Reed in a fourth. Do we jump on that at that point, knowing what we did with the Eagles, knowing that our game plan and everything? So is it more of the scheme? Now, I think Sauce is great. I don't want anybody to think that do not think that Sauce is like he's the truth, right? But I think that Reed could be the one that goes and he could be easily replaced. That's what I'm trying to say.
I mean, if I'm JD, I'm trying to get MC2 locked up. Like, I would have done it already. Because then, like, I don't know if it helps the leverage of Reed, but I feel like it won't hurt it to have two men locked in, you know what I mean? But the other thing is, like, you have to look at the team and say, how many guys on defense do you want that are going to be 10 million AAV? Because, like, you got Sauce, you got Quinnen, you got JJ that are all going to be that. You got MC2. You got Quincy that's probably going to be there in the next year or two. Are you going to add Reed to make that 6 guys? I mean, that's kind of why Huff had to walk, because you can't put $100 million a year just in 5 guys on defense, you know, or 6 guys. You got to spread it around. So, like, that's why it helps to have a Tony Adams making $2 million and playing 1,000 snaps. You know, it's all how you want to roster build, but then, like, also comparing that against this narrow window we have of, like, really going balls to the wall.
That's just it. I think they got to somehow find the balance.
As many 2-year window guys you can lock in now. Like, that's why I think Reed, if you got to give him 30 million over 2, this 2 is more important. Like, pay a little extra for the next 2 years, whether it's guaranteed or bonused or however you got to do it. But this 2-year, like, I don't know if you front load. I'm sure there's ways around it, but yeah, I would give Reed like 27, 29 over 2, and then we don't have to worry about him until that window is a little more shut.
That's true. And then at that point, you're probably ready to move on anyway.
And he's older. Yeah, he's might be 30 by then. Like,
right. I just think you want him for the next 2-3 years. So if you could extend him and get that price down for this year and
before Sauce is paid, you know, like, and that's why I do it now. Like, if you do not want to be going into next spring with him expiring and MC2 both of them expiring. Like, a week ago, I was looking, and, like, over the next 12 months, the only one we had under contract was Sauce for the future, and that Bernard Converse. The only one in that whole secondary, safeties, corners, all of them. Since then, we've locked up the Baltimore Clark, a couple small pieces, Oliver or whatever. But for the most part, and it's a positive, I think, is JD has left us flexible enough to where we have the entire roster construction still to be made. Like, it's how you want to make it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, real quick question for you.
Sure.
Since we were on the topic of Long Island, because they started going into the Long Island conversation.
There we go.
I think Dano likes us, right? Because we're Long Island guys, right? And so Franklin Square, Island Park, or Oceanside, what was the stomping grounds for the pickup of the girlies back in the day?
Okay, well, I had the best luck in Oceanside, so that would be my answer. But I don't. Island Park's a little far, and Franklin Square a little more west than I would go normally. But Oceanside was I had the easiest time in Oceanside, so that would be my answer.
Those are my old hole in the wall stomping grounds from back in the day with the ladies. But I appreciate you, man. Keep doing your thing. Dano, don't drop the soap. You already know. See you guys later.
I love it. Thank you both for hopping in here. I appreciate it, guys.
Could I say one last thing?
Yeah. Oh, shit. Sorry. I didn't mean to knock you out.
I just wanted to give you kudos for having the tweet of the day that won the internet yesterday.
Which one was that? The Costello one?
Yes, that one was great. I don't know if you were the first one to get on that, but you definitely caught my eye first, and I love that.
I appreciate it, man. That was I just look. I like to keep it light and fun. That's all. We're just having a good time here.
Too many irrational people on that platform too. So
Yes.
like the few of us got to band together, man.
Absolutely, Dano. Appreciate you checking in.
Yep. Later, man.
All right, good stuff there. All right. Just checking in on Twitter and the rest of us in here. I'm gonna here. Let's do this. We got some. I don't. Yeah, I just think some scams going around. No, you're good. Sorry if I rambled. DP, double pen. We love the double penny. Well, okay. We got a breaking news.
Breaking news.
The Patriots quarterback room. Bailey Zappi is set to be released per source. So Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi era is over in New England. Jacoby Brissett in. And you'd have to imagine at pick number 3 is going to be a quarterback. Is it going to be Drake May? Is it going to be Jaden Daniels? What's it going to be? I think my guess is going to be Jaden Daniels to New England at 3. I think Caleb, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, first 3 picks in the draft. Ryan says Johnny Ice Cream gets out of school at 3:30. So barring his homework load, we need him to be a co-host. Love Johnny Ice Cream and his dad. Great guys. Great guys. Had them on the show before. Johnny Ice Cream's Electric Factory. He's always welcome on the program. So it's a sad state of affairs when we have to go breaking news sounder for freaking Bailey Zappi getting released. Woof. Oh, God. Woof. Still nothing. So an hour ago, we had the Calvin Ridley is pushing to sign, New England pushing to sign him, but he wants to stay in Jacksonville, and then have heard no update on that since, which is a little bit bizarre. Eastu asks, is Tannehill signed? No, he has not signed. I thought Pittsburgh could be a potential good spot, reunite with Arthur Smith. Obviously, after getting Russell Wilson, that kind of goes out the window. Where is Tannehill going to end up? I don't know. Where's Fields going to end up? These are all valid questions. Denver? Maybe. Shaq Barrett to the Finns. Yeah, I did see that one too. So we could pull that. Shaq Barrett to the Finns. At this point, how old is Shaq Barrett? He's got to be in his mid-30s now, no? He's only 31? Wow. I thought he would be like 34. Shaq Barrett had 4.5 sacks in Tampa last year. A little bit of a quiet season for him after he had 3 really great years from 2019 to 2021. Only 8 games in 2022, and then relatively quiet this past year. Duncan says Fields to the Giants. It's possible. They just have Daniel Jones. They could potentially swing, although they just traded a 2nd-round pick for Burns. So I don't know if they were going to want to pay or spend both their 2nd-round picks. But if they don't think a quarterback that they like is going to be there, maybe. Ryan says I kind of like Fields to the Giants. I'd rather watch him than Daniel Jones. Honestly, if I was a Giants fan, I would much rather go that route than DJ. AJ says Dolphins added some good linebackers to Jordan Brooks and Barrett. They've been relatively quiet too, I feel like, as well. The Dolphins. It's been a lot of turnover there. So for the Jets on day 2, Leki Fotu, the big name. Or we can let Zack Wilson switch teams. Yeah, I mean, if they'll give us a 6th round pick, sure. Why not? John Green likes lean. That's funny. Trades Zach and a 6th to the Broncos for Sutton. I don't think they'd go for it, but sure, they need a quarterback. Why not? I think they're going to try to trade up for somebody. Matthew Malloy says confidence level that Lazard returns to Green Bay form. I'll say like 70% Green Bay form. His best year was, it's just staggering how his numbers fell off, by the way. It was just not great. So 788 yards and 6 touchdowns was his best season. He had 513 and 8 the year before that. He's probably, I don't know, can he give you 504 with Aaron Rodgers? That might be nice. Yeah, this is true. The Cowboys haven't done anything either. The Cowboys have been real quiet, which is surprising. Usually they're, the big money spenders. They come out, they're throwing the money around. Jerry Jones loves to be in on the mix on it. Rusty says, where do you think Fields gets traded to? Dude, we're having a hard time coming up with one. I thought Atlanta would be a good fit. That's where Kirk Cousins went. I thought Pittsburgh could be a good fit. That's where Russell Wilson goes. Gardner Minshew signs with the Raiders. I don't think Justin Fields is going to get traded there now. I don't think someone's giving up picks for a backup. I think he's going to get a chance to start somewhere, but where is my question? Nowhere else in the NFC South. They just paid Baker and Bryce Young, and Derek Carr is going to be there. NFC North, the Vikings. They could be active for a quarterback. They signed Sam. Yeah, they're running out of options. AJ says Seahawks, maybe. Oh, potentially, right? You need an answer after Geno. I don't know if Geno's really their long-term answer. Oh, we have a signing, baby. We have 2 signings that we could do.
Breaking news!
Not anything crazy, but we'll share it. Free agent running back DJ Dallas plans to sign with the Arizona Cardinals. The former Seahawks special teams ace is only 25 and now finds a new home in Arizona. And you go back and you have Tom Pelissero saying the Lions are signing cornerback Amik Robertson to a 2-year, $9.25 million deal that's worth up to $10.75 with incentives. Robertson appeared in 52 games, 21 starts with the Raiders, and can play the slot. Another significant defensive back addition after the Carlton Davis trade. Junio, interesting. Left field team for Fields is Miami. Ooh, that would be an interesting one. Could you imagine that? Did Seattle sign Fant? I don't think they did. Unless I just completely missed that. No. He's still on the market. Oh, okay. We're getting some news now. Here we go.
Breaking news!
We got 3 signings in a row. After it being a little bit quiet, we're cooking up. The guys, they just finished up their lunch hour. They're getting back after it. Patrick Queen is signing a 3-year, $41 million contract with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that's an AAV of what? 41 divided by 3. Oh, shit. Hang on. 41 divided by 3. $13.67 million. There we go. So we got 3 signings right in a row, and in with his hourly check-in, Doug on the couch. Doug.
We're coming up on the hour. Had to check in. Question. You think the guy who did the SpongeBob voice, the breaking news, you think he gets royalties on that? Because if not, fumbled the bag.
He definitely fumbled the bag. He needed the IP on the breaking news.
Because he'd be set for life.
He would. He would. That an all-timer. Love SpongeBob. Great show. Great for memes.
I love SpongeBob before the movie. Anything after that, I don't.
Hard, yeah, because the original writer left after the movie, right?
Yeah.
So you're talking first,
the
like
original movie and before, goated. Anything
Yeah.
after that, I don't bother with.
well, naturally.
Yeah.
Naturally.
The original movie, top tier kids movie.
Of course. I remember seeing that in the movie theater. That being
I
such
did
a
too.
that was a good one.
And then Patrick just flying into the Krusty Krab naked.
What a way to start.
Yeah.
What a way to start a movie.
Great film. But I told you, like, I mean, when you were on the Jets stream tonight, something's gonna break.
Yeah, probably.
Or it's gonna be right when you end the Jets stream because it's past 10, and that's when Joe Douglas is awake. He's a nocturnal being. He's only up at nighttime. That's when he does all his work.
Yeah, what the hell's that about, man? Just full vampire mode, gonna sleep during the day, and then at night he comes out ready to lurk.
If it works, I mean, I would say out of all the signings, the Tyrod Taylor is the best signing so far.
Oh, hard agree.
Not to say that the Johnson's going to be a bad signing, but just the necessity. And you got a guy who's a proven backup, reliable. And I saw people tweeted last night if Tyrod Taylor was on the Jets last year, the Jets make the playoffs.
Yeah, they win 10 games. I don't think that's
because they would have beat the 4 games in my head that will stick out. The Falcons game.
okay.
We won with Tyrod Taylor.
Yep.
The Raiders game. We would have won with Tyrod Taylor. The Chargers game, because their defense was incredible.
Yeah, Zach fumbled 3 times in that game.
Yeah. And then there's one other close game that I'm trying to think of.
The Dolphins game in the before with the Fail Mary, maybe.
Yeah, you could argue the first Dolphins. We would have won one of the Dolphins games. The second one we just got murdered, so I don't know.
No. Yeah, the Falcons game where you lost 13-8 is pretty freaking frustrating.
So, but you're pushing for that playoff spot with him,
right? Yeah, which obviously it would have at least been competitive. You wouldn't have had that.
It's the first Patriots game. That's the game.
Yeah, 15-10. How did we forget that one? Yeah, the first pass.
You would have won. You would have swept the Patriots. Yeah, thanks, Kevin. You would have beaten the Falcons. You would have beaten the Raiders, and then
or even if take 3 of those 4 games, then you're still at 10 wins.
You might have missed the playoffs, but you're 9-8. You're like that last team out, right? Because it was 10-7 was the last team in.
Was it? Who was the 7?
Tyrod Taylor would have gotten the Jets into the playoffs last year.
Well, at least they would have been 500.
Yeah. I think, look what he did with the Giants, and the Giants had a much worse offense last year.
Yeah. I don't get Brick Top has got to go to the bathroom.
Put him in the fucking bathroom. Get him out of here.
Tyrod Taylor doesn't stink. Tyrod Taylor would probably be their best starting quarterback since Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't think that's really debatable. He's better than Darnold, better than Zack Wilson.
You saw the tweet where he would lead in statistical categories of all time.
Yeah, Buffalo Jet tweeted it last night.
Crazy. Just people don't get it. I think some of these guys are just fake Jets fans and just like to torture us. That's what's going on here.
They're just trolling, man.
They're just trolling. No, for Jake Shane, Bang Mateo. Who the hell even is that guy? He's not a real Jets fan. These guys just like to torture us.
No, there's some people that I'm convinced there's some cartoon characters just in the chat. There's no way. Bang Mateo. No one has twerked for Arthur Smith more in their life than Bang Mateo.
I mean, the Steelers are going to have the best offense in the league this year if you have Bang Mateo.
Yeah, with Russell Wilson. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, or Russell Wilson or Kenny Pickett. All right, I'll check back in around 3:00.
Yeah, well, what are you doing during the day? What do you have going on today?
I recently got let go due to downsizing, so
I'm sorry.
Shit happens.
Okay, so no, but you're my favorite kind of person because you're always going to be in the chat, interacting and doing all that stuff.
So I'm here just watching TV, playing video games, chilling and applying for jobs.
Dude, good stuff. Good luck. I'm sorry about the layoff, but
life.
You're welcome here, Doug.
Yep. See you around 3.
See you around 3. Thank you, Doug. Oh no, Brick is leaving. No, please come back, Brick. No, don't go. I missed you. Just curious, if Fields was available for a third and we didn't sign Tyrod Taylor, would you trade for him if you were the Jets? There was no way that the Jets would admit that mistake by doing it. And no, I don't want. I need a little bit more of a, not a sure thing, but just a more steady player. I don't really like the high variance backup guys. It's what they tried to do with Zach. It wasn't great. It wasn't great. So I would say no. Oh, we have some more. Look at this. We're starting to heat up. The 2-hour mark.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. The Giants are signing Drew Lock per Tom and Mike Garafolo. Drew Lock, QB2 to Daniel Jones. Same draft class, by the way. One of my best buddies who's a Giants fan wanted Drew Lock in that draft over Daniel Jones. And now he has both. I'm going to text him right now because I'm sure he's going to just absolutely love that. Okay. Righting the wrong. I'm saying Drew Lock, baby, righting the wrong from 2019. He's going to love that. Drew Lock. Oh, and by the way, Rusty, Fields has been better than Wilson. Yeah, you're not getting, that was not me taking a stance that Wilson is better than Fields. And I hope you know that. And I don't think that's what you were implying by that comment, but you are correct in saying that. Ryan says Daniel Jones QB3 behind Tommy Cutlets. That one died, man. Did anyone take that? What a Linsanity run Tommy Cutlets went on right there. Okay, we got a couple. Shelby Harris.
Breaking news.
Shelby Harris reporting himself signing back in Cleveland, back to the land. And then you also got
breaking news
from Adam Schefter. He don't even have a graphic for this one. He's down bad. Deion Bush is returning to the Chiefs on a 1-year deal per source. Elon has just been with the new algorithm, but the new format on Twitter or X, I guess. The comments. Bush is my ex-husband is really freaking funny. And then Sports Hub in here going ring chaser. You can't make it up. It's just very funny. Did we? I apologize. Did we fight about that? That was a couple years ago. Now for sure. Rusty Rage is regular. We're good. Well, as you said, water under the bridge. I don't hold the grudges. We could, it's just passion. Everyone's passionate about their opinions, passionate about sports. No hard feelings, unless someone's a real dick. But I don't think Rusty Rages is a real dick. I think he's a good guy. Here we go. Here's the graphic. I'll keep you updated on what my Giants fan buddy says too, by the way, about this. Drew Lock, quarterback. So you got to do the backpack, right? The gif of him and Gino doing that from last year was just truly one of a kind. No, don't even put that into the ether. Incoming Jamal Adams signing. Okay, update from friend Bobby. He goes, OMG, it's like Christmas. That's really fucking funny. Yeah, he was big on Fields and big on I was big on Zach. Yeah, I mean, I was wrong. I'm not gonna go full Zach truther in the year of our Lord 2024. Fields was my 2B quarterback that year. It was Lawrence, and then I had Wilson slightly above Fields. Would have been fine with Fields, but again, ancient history. Both of those teams are going to move on from their guys anyway. So it is what it is. But you're right, just difference of opinion. Jermonster says, do you think the Jets are going to sign or trade a big name wide receiver to help Garrett? You would hope they're going to do something to help Garrett Wilson, because they can't just run it back with what they have and hope that Aaron Rodgers is just going to fix Allen Lazard and hope that Xavier Gibson's going to take that next step. Like, if their starting trio next year and 11 personnel is Garrett Wilson, Allen Lazard, and Xavier Gibson, good God. Oh my goodness gracious. Please don't let that be the case. 1 year, $5 million, by the way, on Drew Lock. Matthew says, do you think the Jets will eventually sign Breece Hall to a second contract, considering how the NFL values running back positions, and the Jets will need to re-sign Wilson, Sauce Johnson, and maybe more? So this is one where, like, I don't know how people are going to feel about it, and this is subject to change depending on what happens over the next couple of years. But I'm not the biggest fan of paying running backs the second contract, depending on mileage and all that. Breece will be, let's see. He's 22, so he's age 23, 24 season. He's still young, so maybe he gets a second contract, but really, like, once these running backs get to 27, it's over. Usually, if we get someone out of the first round, 4 years and franchise tag is the move, but Breece might be an exception to this rule. We can come back to this in a year or two, but with, as you mentioned, with Wilson, Sauce, and Johnson, I would probably prioritize Wilson and Sauce the most, with Johnson as an edge rusher being important, and then maybe try to go a different direction at running back, as much as that might stink. But, you know, you have control of your guy for 5 years with the 4-year rookie contract and the franchise tag. So Patrick Queen, 3 for 41. I believe I said that one before. We have the actual numbers on that one now. Still don't have the numbers on Javon Kinlaw, by the way. I'm going to assume it's $3 million, 3 or 4, somewhere in that range. T-Bone Racing says, sounds like Ridley won't go until tomorrow. Great. We'll be back for day 4 or day 3. We'll pull up the tweet. Did he say it on NFL Network or tweet it out? Yeah, I don't see it on his Twitter feed, but he very well could have said that online, obviously, on TV, obviously interacting with you guys. But Luis asks, is Curtis Samuel available? Yes, he is. Curtis Samuel is still on the board, still available, as is Tyler Boyd. Who else at the wide receiver market? Chris says, because Breece wasn't a first-round pick, if they're smart, they address it next year. Same way they should have with Huff. Yeah, I mean, you could do it that way, too. Like, if you want to give him an extension that bumps him up his year 4 salary and then, like, gets him so he's under contract for this year's year 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe that's the way to go. You could do it that way. I just don't want to get into a spot where you, like, let him play his 4 years and then after that sign on for another 4-year deal on top of that. I don't think the ways to do it. Opinions on Trent Brown, not good. I don't think he's very good. Hasn't stayed healthy. When he was healthy, penalties were a problem, and he's gigantic in size. 6'8", 370. I don't know how that body's going to hold up at 31 years old. So I would say no.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here.
No, not on Spotify, Ricky. I don't do the. I feel like this wouldn't translate as well to audio because there's more time in between. Like, there's more. It's not as much as like the standard, like the Just Jets podcast or any of the videos and stuff like that. But with, I don't know how well it would translate to Spotify, so I never considered doing anything like that. But maybe I should. Maybe that's something we could look at down the line. There is more dead air. Yeah, they get right. It's not like I said, it's not a standard podcast. There's a little bit more dead air. It's a little more interactive with the chat. So I don't know if it would translate as well. NYY says, which available free agent you like the most? Zeitler is my favorite option available at this point. I think for me, he's a no-brainer. If you fill him in at right guard, that then brings AVT to tackle, though. And I know that's going to bother some people. I trust him more than I trust going with a tackle. I don't really love this tackle market. There's someone's going to get paid, though. You know, they're going to get some big time money to Tyron Smith, the Cowboys left tackle, on a 1-year deal, but he hasn't played a full season since 2015. So you got to be confident in either your backup or someone else on your roster, a Max Mitchell, Carter Warren, one of those guys. Fair enough. Zerline. Apparently we are in talks with OBJ. That's not surprising. Let's see. Odell Beckham. Let's see if I search that. Where'd you see this one, C Moon? Kim Kardashian and Odell are dating? Is this the truth? Oh, at the Oscars. Okay, great. Perfect. Yeah, we need more headlines around the Jets. Let's get Odell in here with Kim Kardashian. That's perfect. Sign me up. All I did was not Google. I put in Odell in the search bar, and all I see is Kim Kardashian claims her next victim. Kim Kardashian claims the next victim. PDA. Perfect. That's exactly what I need. What happened to Cam Robinson? He has not gotten cut yet. So he would be a trade option if you wanted to acquire him that way. If we are to believe this, I don't know how legit this guy is. He is a co-host of the Challenge Fanatics podcast, but he is claiming to have a source that says was just told Fields is being shopped to teams. Latest team to reach out is the Seahawks. TBD. Oh, Cali Jets just tweeted that. All right, let me go on to Cali Jets' page. Cali Jet says, Jets expected to revisit talks with Odell Beckham Jr. That's not surprising. That's not surprising at all to me. Okay. Greatest comment of the day. Ryan chimes in and says, Kim K can shit on Odell elsewhere. Leave him out of New York. Thanks for the cheese. Says Kardashian curses for real. New York Jets, stay away from Odell. We've seen it before. We have absolutely seen it before. Rusty wants to know why don't you like Bakhtiari? Is it solely because of the games he's played? Yes, it is because of the games he's played. Over the last 4 years, he's played 12, 1, 11, and 1 games. He's had 5 knee surgeries over that time. Is it possible that this is really the knee surgery that gets it fixed? Sure, anything's possible. I just have a hard time taking that gamble for a team that was relying on Dwayne Brown, an older veteran. Now, granted, you know, Bakhtiari is younger than what Dwayne Brown was last year, but they were relying on a veteran who was coming off a surgery, who didn't play much in training camp in the preseason, comes in and unfortunately gets hurt again. I don't know if that knee is going to ever be the same. I don't know if he'll be back to that 2019 and previous form that he was in Green Bay. 32 is still relatively young, but I don't know if that's, you know, every instance is different. And for him, with all these surgeries already, is a bit of a risk. But Rusty points out he's way younger than Brown. He is. There's a drastic difference there, but it's a gamble. 1 game in 2021, 1 game in 2023. Green Bean. Hi, Green Bean. I hope you're having a good day. I can't wait to see you later, my friend. I've been talking a lot of Tyler Boyd today, so I think you'd be happy. That's someone that I would like to see the New York Jets add, if it's not a Calvin Ridley or someone of that nature. Zach Rosenblatt tweets. Actually, let's do Chavez first because this is more on what we were on. Travis and Taylor versus Kim and Odell. Book it, Matt. There we go. Okay. I don't think this gets a breaking news, but the Jets have people in Eugene for quarterback Bo Nix's workout. And then we got Boy Green quote tweeted it. That's how I saw it. Goes, oh, my Lanta, the Jets wouldn't. They couldn't. They would have to trade up for him. I think he's going in the second round. I don't think they would take him 20 overall. It's going to be a Tyler Boyd kind of night. Yaboa rules. I hope we get, well, being able to react right now to a signing would be fantastic. I would love that. But if Tyler Boyd or one of Green Bean's guys gets signed between the hours of 8 and 10 tonight, it's going to be a fun time on the Talking Jets stream. This is a quick turnaround. This was like a 19-minute apart time.
There's nothing going on. There's nothing going on. Oh, hold on. I was on YouTube. I don't want the back feed. There we go.
Okay.
I was going to say something. Oh, you know, it's not a good sign when in a Madden franchise, I'm more aggressive in free agency than our actual GM. I'm smartly aggressive, but still more aggressive.
So are you team F those picks in Madden or?
We talk, yeah, F them picks. Who needs them, right? But like I usually sign Tyron Smith on the first day. Get it done. Boom. There you go. There's their left tackle. Done.
Has he stayed healthy in your Madden franchise?
He does. He does stay healthy.
Okay. No, I don't know how that translates.
I'm playing NHL more of late, though, to be honest. But
okay. How many games does Rempe get suspended for?
I think we talked about it on Twitter last. I think 2.
Okay. He does deserve a suspension, though.
I know. I mean,
that?
I agree he deserves a suspension, but like people attacking the kid, I don't suck, John Peter. You suck.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here.
What's it called?
You gotta learn to tuck his elbow in. He just goes in with the elbow up too much.
I just think he doesn't know how to like fully operate his body yet. Is the thing.
Yeah.
And then right before the hit, he had a great screen in front of the goalie where he could not see anything in front of him, and it was a goal. So.
Yeah, see, we even got Rusty Rages saying Rempe deserves a suspension.
No, yeah, I'm a Rangers fan too. He definitely like you can't be going with elbow to the head. That's a 2-game suspension.
No, and then he had the He didn't get suspended, right, for the first hit in the Devils against the
No,
Devils?
he just got thrown out. I mean, that one wasn't a bad hit. And then the Labushkin hit on Toronto, he left his feet. That's
You-
more he can
If
go.
you're 6'8", I don't think you need to leave your feet.
No, I agree. But the one against last night, yeah, he should have been suspended. He should be suspended.
Yeah.
But like people coming for his life and saying that's the worst hit that's ever happened. How dare he kill this man? Kill this man. That's a little much.
No, it is. I've seen a little bit of that recently. I wish he gets away from it because I think he can be. I said it to you on Twitter too, but I think he can be a useful player with that size.
But like let's not like kill the guy from like yes, it's a dirty hit. You can't do that, but like he needs to. People online need to chill the fuck out. Sorry for my language, but they just need to chill. So, all right, now I'll leave. I'll let someone else join on the call if they want to.
Perfect. Get in our hockey talk of that. My Islanders looked terrible last night. The power play went off.
Those are games you can't lose. Those are games you can't, especially Rangers and Islanders play on St. Patty's Day this weekend. So
yes, that's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, it should be good. I heard your St. Patty's plans for this weekend. Sounds like a good St. Patty's Day.
Yes, I'm gonna drink my body weight in Jameson on Saturday. That's the goal.
I have a family friend's wedding on Saturday, so
there you go.
Very good time at the open bar.
Good stuff, Doug. We'll see you in 5 minutes, probably. Yep. Good stuff. All right. NYY says our tight end room, Conklin, Yeboah, Kuntz. You're forgetting Jeremy Rucker, dude. That's our tight end 2. And then tight end 3 would be Yeboah, and Kuntz would be tight end 4. Yeah, this is true. The Islanders are back in it. They got themselves back to a playoff spot with the loss last night. Are they still in a playoff spot? They might have finally just dropped out, but they are back in the mix, and they're playing well under Patrick Waugh. They've been much more exciting for me recently. They are tied with Detroit, technically on the outside looking in, but they're right in the mix. Yeah, we had a nice little flurry of signings, and then it got quiet again. It was like 3 right in a row, which was good. And then after that, it was very quiet. But what do you guys think of the Bo Nix? Would you be in on the Jets drafting Bo Nix? I don't think he is a first-round quarterback. I think he's going to go in the second round. I don't really like Bo Nix. I don't think that's the guy. He's already 24 years old. He's an older prospect. He played at Auburn. He played at Oregon. He put up some big touchdown numbers, but I don't know. It's like he doesn't move the needle for me. He kind of reminds me of like a Mac Jones type. Kind of looks like Mac Jones in a way. Like this guy, you're telling me this. Hold on. You're telling me he was not a senior lacrosse player at Massapequa? This Bo Nix is a quarterback at Oregon. He's not, a lacrosse player. I don't buy that. I don't buy it for a second, guys. Oh, Eastu. I'm not gonna. I can't agree with it. Tellemore do over Jameson. Really? Tellemore do. I can't go there. I can't. I would put my favorite Irish bottle that I have right now is my Redbreast 12 year. And then I have the Jameson Black Barrel, which is pretty good. Reed thinks that Bo Nix is 100% going to be gone before the second. I don't know. I think he could be atop of the second one. Matt Meehan goes, I'm from Massapequa, and that could be the most true statement you have ever said. Come on. I just looked at his headshot. I said that guy screams Massapequa lacrosse. Chaminade lacrosse, Garden City lacrosse. Insert one of those here. Oh, my God. Come on. we don't like to stereotype here on the Matt O'Leary NY program, but sometimes you got to call a spade a spade. That's what I'm going to name my kid, Dustin Keller, Jameson Black Barrel O'Leary. That'd be great. We got another one. Andrew Kazanka saying Tellemore do Jameson. I agree, but my dad would be with you, Matt. LOL. Wow. Okay, maybe I'm sleeping on the Tellemore do. Maybe I got to give that another go. Matt, what do you think about drafting Brock Bowers? I think he would be an extremely exciting add to this Jets team, but I am unsure what the plan would be at offensive line. They'd have to at least sign 1 or 2 new starters before I consider going to the offensive line. I'll go into Brock Bowers at 10. Let's go back to friend of the show, Tigo, who is in the waiting room. Tigo.
Okay, I just came in to calm people down.
Okay.
Right? We have people at the Oregon Pro Day because Oregon State was yesterday.
Okay.
So
yeah.
we might as well.
Yeah, you might as well. And do you think they're looking at JPJ or Bo Nix? My guess would be JPJ, but what do I know?
My guess is they went to go look at Talise Fuaga and they thought, JPJ's real good. Let's go see him. Bo Nix, maybe. I don't know. Let's go see. Like, it's more of a, we're watching Talise Fuaga and Oregon, like, Oregon's like right up the road. So we might as well save for an extra day.
Yeah. I'd be like, I might as well.
Exactly. It's like, I don't know. What's a good example of, like, if you come to Florida to go to Disney, right? That's cool. But like Universal is also like right here. So you might as well, right? You're here. Why not?
Yeah, you
might as well hit both up. That's what they're doing. They're like, we're already here to watch Talise Fuaga. We might as well, if we get a second round pick, Troy Franklin maybe looks nice. You know, like, relax. Oregon's got a lot of good players. It might not be for Bo Nix.
Yeah, was Franklin? Yeah, he was participating. That was my next question, was if he was participating, but he is. Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like, relax. Like, if we go to LSU's Pro Day, doesn't mean
Jaden.
we're looking at Jaden Daniels.
Jaden's a Jet.
They have 2 really good wide receivers.
I don't know. Jaden's a Jet.
And Mekhi Wingo. Like, there's another, like, there are other players that aren't quarterbacks at Pro Days. I don't know if people know this.
No, but I'm glad you came in to calm people down, because I can't get my I can't get bought into a Bo Nix at 10.
No.
Do you think he goes in the first round?
I think he can.
Okay.
Like, if you're a team like Denver and you pass on a quarterback at 13, you could convince me that they would come up to 32 or 31, because they're probably not trading with Kansas City, to go get Bo Nix for that 5th-year option. Like, you could convince me that that's in the cards.
Sure.
Or like Minnesota, if the top 4 guys go and they decide to not reach at 13, I think is what they have. 14 is what they have, whatever.
Yeah.
And they like can't get into striking range, and all the first 3 or 4 guys that they like, you know, you could convince me that they come up to 32 to get the 5th-year option on a guy kind of like Lamar they did with the Ravens did with Lamar. So
Denver's 12.
12, and then Minnesota's 13.
Minnesota 11, Denver 12, Vegas 13.
Vegas 13. That's what it is. So again, like, those are the 3 teams that I'm looking at. Seattle might be a sneaky one. You know, if they wanted to get a guy to sit behind, you know, and like, there are teams that are like 1 year away from needing a quarterback, and Bo Nix isn't all that bad of a prospect in my opinion. So I think he should go in the second round, but might go into the first for a team trying to get that 5th-year option.
Yeah.
But not the Jets.
No, I don't see it for the Jets. But again, I thank you for coming in and putting the smoke on the.
Relax.
fire.
The whole plan is to trade back from 10 and get JPJ and have the best interior offensive line on the planet.
So are they signing 2 tackles today?
No.
Maybe
Tease a tackle, my guy.
Yeah,
Everyone's
no, I
got to accept that. People got to accept that in their heart.
I agree with you. I think he's going to play tackle this year.
It's not what I want, but for his health, it makes the most sense.
I'm with you.
The Achilles,
you
man.
go. Thanks for hopping in here. We appreciate you. Good stuff. Let's go to Joey up next. Joey, what's going on, man? How are you?
So, Matt, how you doing? I don't know if you remember me. couple of years ago, I had you on my podcast.
Okay.
Jets Lab. So it was a while ago. But,
Jets Lab. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
I remember Jets Lab.
It kind of stops, but life happens. So, but figured I'd pop in here.
Yeah, what are you thinking about free agency so far?
So far, it's meh. So far, that's kind of where I stand. I was upset to see Illuminor go to the Giants. I honestly thought the Giants had a really good day yesterday.
They did. I agree.
And they got a lot of what I thought I kind of wanted. I almost would have signed up for the Illuminor Runyon type deal. But I think so far, I'm pretty content with Tyrod. Some of the other moves are, they're good. I'm really concerned about receiver though. Like, I want to get Sutton. That's kind of my top move.
Yeah, I like that.
But I don't know. Hollywood maybe. I'm getting a little concerned if we don't get Sutton. I think he really complements like a Garrett Wilson really well. But what do you? I don't know if I've heard you talk about Hollywood a lot. What is your opinion on that?
I don't know if I'd want to go the Hollywood route, especially when you see what Darnell Mooney just went for. If Darnell Mooney's getting $13 million a year on average, I think Hollywood would get, I don't know, 16, 17. That feels like a lot for a guy who had maybe 500 receiving yards last year. He's not my favorite option for the Jets.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, I like the Boyd move. I really think it's important we get another pass catcher. And then I don't see a world like where people can live and say like we can. I just don't think, even if we bring in more offensive line help in free agency, I just don't see a world where we draft Bowers.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Like, and I'm not saying that Bowers isn't an exciting player. He is, and he'd be a lot of fun to have, but I just don't know if they're going to be able to do enough offensively or on the offensive line, in order to justify that pick through free agency.
Because like, even if you bring in like a Tyron Smith, like you're going to sign him up for what, 9-10 games maybe. So it's,
Yeah, and you need to have a quality backup. So I don't think that like stops you from taking an offensive tackle at 10.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot of different routes you can go, and I'm just hoping it fills out the next couple of days here. So we'll see.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Is there like one guy in particular where it's like, okay, if I could have my choice of the one, this is the guy for you?
In the draft, you're saying?
No, in free agency right now.
Oh, in terms of wide receiver, or just in general?
In general, it could be a wide receiver, but I just was curious if it's like, okay, like this is the guy I want next. This is what the next time you get a Jets breaking news, this is what it should be.
I mean, I hate this. It was on Wayne, and like last night when I was watching TV with my girlfriend, I look on my phone and I like just slap the couch. She's like, "What the hell happened?" And I'm like, "Fuck!" Like I couldn't. I had that set in my mind that was going to happen. So I guess Zeitler at this point.
Okay.
I'm really not crazy about Tyron Smith, even though I really, if you could tell me, yeah, he's going to be healthy for like 13 games, I'd be like, yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there's no guarantee of that. Where Zeitler's health hasn't really been an issue. He's rock solid on the line, and then that all but guarantees that AVT's going out to tackle, and then I think you probably draft another one, and you go from there on the offensive line.
Yeah, I'm hoping we can just get one. I really did like Illuminor though.
Me too. That was a good value signing. I agree with you. I think the Giants had a good day yesterday.
Yeah. Once the Burns thing happened, I was like, they're doing a good job. And,
I was surprised. They turned down, they being the Panthers, turned down multiple firsts for Burns and then just trade him away for a second.
Yeah, I was a little confused by that report, and I don't understand what happened there, but I guess so is the NFL.
It seems that way. That way. Joey, thanks for hopping on with us and taking some time with us today.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Take care, man.
All right. Have a good one. Good stuff. NYY, you're going to get yourself banned. You can't be dropping Justin Jefferson things in the chat like this, saying like, oh, the Jets got Justin Jefferson. Don't do that to me. Come on. That's not the case. I wonder what my screen time is over the last 2 days. We got to be looking at, I don't know, how long have I been awake today? 7:30 to 2:35, probably. So most of the day. Right now, quiet on the offensive line front, and the wide receiver market too. Does this deserve the breaking news sounder? Not really, but I'll do it anyway.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Chase Young is expected to visit the Panthers and the Saints this week. A handful of teams have expressed interest in Young. The 2020 defensive rookie of the year is still only 24 years old. I'm laughing because you'll see why I'm laughing in a second.
Because I'm back.
Yeah, Doug is back in the mix. Doug.
Crazy that he's only 24. That makes me feel old, but not that I'm that old, but I'm older than him. Did you see you just brought up? I wanted to chime in because you brought up the Panthers. Did you see that tweet? The compensation they given up if you add in Christian McCaffrey, Brian Burns, and DJ Moore.
No,
it was like I gotta find it. It was like what they could have gotten and instead what they did get.
Okay.
I'm looking at
more. It was someone tweeted it. You said.
Yeah, it was like a list of compensation of what they'd given up.
Okay, let's see.
And what they kept and got. Here it is.
Okay.
Okay. For CMC, Brian Burns, this is 4. Like they could have gotten CMC. Wait, there's a better one of it. Hold on. Like it had like a 49ers got Christian McCaffrey. Bears get DJ Moore, Darnell Wright, 2024 number 1 overall pick, 2025 second round pick. Giants get Brian Burns. Panthers get Bryce Young, Edge, DJ Johnson, 2024 second, 2024 fifth, and 2024 fifth.
Okay.
I would be the co-host. This is Matt's show.
No. I think we're taking Doug on the couch. We got to have the graphic going like Jake. Have the whole thing.
But that's crazy. Like, didn't the Rams offer them like 2 firsts and a third last year for Brian Burns?
Yeah, they did. They gave him the Jamal Adams package.
You know, you got to keep him from that huge impact 2-win season.
Yeah, they're down bad. I don't think there's an organization down worse right now than the Panthers.
They pay $150 million to 2 guards. They got them to get there.
Because that's the only way that they're getting guys in like that, and they have to figure out if Bryce is the guy.
Right now, there's a Panthers tax.
A Panthers tax, like there was the Jets tax, the Jaguars tax.
I mean, their top receiver right now is still Adam Thielen, and he should not be your wide receiver number 1.
No. They have pick 33, right? So I'm sure that's going to be a receiver.
You can let Connor hop on. I can hop off if you want to, or should I stay on since I'm the co-host?
You can stay on. Connor, let's get him on here. Hang on. Connor, what's up, man?
Hey, Doug. Hey, Matt. How you guys doing?
Good. What's up, Connor?
Great.
Yeah, I was just letting you guys know tonight at 7. If you want to come in my chat, ask any questions. Finally got it done. Rich Samini's coming on tonight at 7. So if you got any questions for him.
Connor, you got to ask him if he's afraid that Javon Kinlaw is going to tell him that he has a small penis. I'm kidding. Don't do that. But that was Javon Kinlaw goes at the guy. So you got to ask him if he's going to be okay.
I will, but just wanted to share that. I dove in a little to this Fotu guy. He seems all right. I mean, defensive tackle 4, I'm hearing.
He's a big boy.
That's a 335-pound Samoan guy. So
that's it.
Yeah.
Well, congrats on the Rich Samini, by the way.
I heard he's related to Sione Pua, but can't.
Yeah, they're twins. I heard it here first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope these guys can actually make an impact, come in quick, do something. Tyrod Taylor is by far my favorite, though, in all these guys.
Connor, do you even remember Sione Pua? Or
no idea who that is.
You missed. Okay. In 2010 and 2011, he was a really nice rotational defensive lineman.
Okay, so that was the year I was born, basically. The season I was born.
That hurts me so much.
That hurt my soul.
That really hurt. You don't even remember our best team of this century.
Yeah, I mean, one of the best players was like Bilal Powell was probably up until recently the best player I've seen.
There will not be Bilal Powell slander on this show.
I love that guy. Richie has him on it.
Who was that? The Chargers Jets game where Bilal Powell ripped off like a 70-yard run, and that's the only thing that ever happened in that game. It was the most boring game I've ever.
Yeah, that was 2012, right? That was a really
24. No, it was because it was the. Oh yes, it was 2012 or 2013 because it was the Nike jerseys. I know that.
Yeah,
it was one.
It was the first Nike. It was the first Nike jerseys. It was a.
Oh, God.
I think Chris Johnson was whatever year Chris Johnson was also on the Jets.
Okay,
the
so
year
that
that
could have been
happened.
2014.
And he just ripped off the run, and then
Unreal.
that was it. Nothing
That
else
was it.
happened.
That was the only thing that happened in this one.
Awful.
I love it.
Yeah. Oh, God, that's crazy. But like I said, hope these guys can actually do something. I don't want to see Tyrod Taylor touch the field at all this season, but
No.
get comfortable. I was talking to Gator about it the other day, and he's like, I want a backup quarterback who we're going to see every game when we're up 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. And I was like, it's another good way to think about it.
So who's your
We have a question for you. Do you know who Santonio Holmes is?
Of course I do.
Okay, good.
Who's your favorite Jet player of all time?
All time? 2 guys, probably Wesley Walker and Marty Lyons, just because
Really?
Wow.
Wesley Walker is such a good guy, and I really like him. He actually just sent me like a signed jersey and 7 signed photos. I had him on my podcast. I had him on my show. Marty Lyons, I also had on my show. Both really good guys, but current, my favorite player is probably Garrett Wilson because he signed my jersey and he's a beast.
Amazing. Johnny had something for you. We want to pop him in. Johnny's back in here.
Hey, what's going on? How are you holding up, buddy? Doug on the couch. That's what I wanted to talk to, man.
Yeah, you want to get it in here.
He's famous, bro. I think he might have froze. I think I froze him.
Doug, are you frozen?
Yep.
Doug's
From
frozen. Doug's getting the boot. Sorry, Doug.
I think the new hat made him just tense up.
Made him tense up in here.
I'll grab the hat that's closest to me right now.
There you go. I'm missing it. Okay, so here's a question for Johnny then. How do you decide which hats you take the stickers off and which hats you leave the stickers on for? Or you leave
I don't. They're all like, some of them don't come with stickers and they're just like that. Like a lot of the 47, right?
I gotta get a hat. I can't.
Okay. Some of them are the 47. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yeah, so the 47s don't carry the stickers on there and everything. It's a real New Yorker thing of me to keep all the stickers on there, to keep how authentic they are, So there we go. I like that. Mets. It's a lot better.
Yeah.
Or
God, don't even get me started on that team. They suck.
Let's get the whole crew in here. We got Anthony's been waiting. We can get Doug back in. Anthony, what's going on, man? How's it going?
What's up, guys?
This is crazy. This is
Anthony, where's your hat at, bro?
I know. We're both, me and Anthony are missing that.
Trying to get some vitamin D on his bald head, man. You know what I'm saying?
I need to go outside. I've been inside too long streaming. I should get some vitamin D also.
You're logging some heavy screen time these last 2 days there, Matt.
Not good.
Doug, I want to know, Doug, did your dad make you a Jet fan?
No, I was born outside of Boston. My family are Patriots fans.
How did you choose the Jets then?
I moved to New Jersey like when I was like 9 months old. So
Okay.
I grew up in New Jersey, so I'm Jets, Yankees, Rangers, and I don't care about NBA.
Okay.
I have a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old. My 7-year-old is on a second Jets quarterback jersey, and I think I should be reported to Child Protective Services for making him a Jet fan. So
that's
what everyone says to me.
Hey, Anthony.
Poor kid, man.
Anthony, I got a funnier story than that. So my wife is she's a Jet fan now, right? Prior to her becoming a Jets fan, I said, look, if you're going to marry me, there's a couple of teams that you need to make sure you sign this contract with, or I will not sign the dotted line. And it was the Mets, the Jets, the Knicks, and the Rangers. I think her signing that, she knew that she'll have a loyal husband that could take all the pain that's been given to him no matter what. So all my kids are Jet fans. All my kids are Met fans. It's just been painful, dude. So I hear you, man. As soon as my daughter was born, she had a Jets onesie. Son, same thing. And then my new girl is going to be born in July 4th. She'll be having a Jets onesie as well. So I hear you, man. It's I've had what's it called? Social services.
Child Protective Services.
Yeah,
I have a picture of my oldest son when he was 3 months old with the Jet onesie on, crying. I should have taken it off them then and known it was a mistake.
Yeah, be like, get used to this. It's gonna happen a lot.
You know, I wasn't born into this. For some reason, I chose it. But
That's
you
even
know,
worse.
Bless your heart, bro.
you know, yeah. But that's why my favorite memory though is when the Jets beat the Patriots in the divisional round in 2010, with my family being Patriots fans, because they thought, oh yeah, we're going to the Super Bowl this year, and they cried, and that made my day.
Yeah.
I was there, and then I went to Pittsburgh the following week, and
That Pittsburgh game will haunt my nightmares for my life.
The Antonio Brown catch, man. That's it. If they stop that, they go down and score. Everyone knows.
You know, if they got the ball back, they were scoring. You just know. They're like, if I had a time machine, one of the things I would go back to, I'd go back in time to right before that play. It's Rex Ryan. They're gonna throw it. They're gonna throw it. They're gonna throw it.
The worst drive in my life was 9 hours home from Pittsburgh, hungover on that Monday.
One sec. I'll be back in 1 minute. Give me 1 sec.
Okay. We'll pop.
That kid's great, man. Get Panini on the stream, dude.
The question: how everybody's been talking about how they're a Jets fan. Let me ask Anthony and Matt: how do you guys become Jet fans? And then I can answer mine if y'all want.
Yeah, for me, it was my dad. I remember when I got into it, my first year I was 8. So what was that? 2003. And Ricky Williams, I just remember Ricky Williams running wild on the Jets, and the Jets got blown out. But I was like, this is it. I'm locked in. This is my team. I love it. And then every week since then has been just getting in there and doing it.
Yeah, my dad is actually a Giant fan. I just was a rebellious teenager, and I liked Testaverde, and I went the other way. So
there you go. What about you, John?
My pops, he went to school with Rob Moore, right? So from there, my pops immigrated here from Ecuador, so he didn't know too much about, football and everything like that. And he was buddies with Rob Moore. Everybody thought Rob Moore was going to be a NBA player, but he went football. And then my pops still followed him since then. And he worked for Hess. So back in the day, we used to actually get tickets, not from Leon, but from John Hess. And I saw John Hall, because that's one of my favorite Jets of all time, kick that field goal that got us into the playoff. And I've been stuck ever since there, man. So
that'll do it.
I got a question for you guys. I'm starting to temper my expectations today, but I think we have to. I don't know. I like Tyron Smith, but we need to either get Tyron Smith or Zeitler, and then I'll feel okay.
That's what I said on my first call into the show today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't do that.
I said we're gonna get either Tyron Smith or Zeitler, and then that tells you a lot with what happens with AVT. Because if they get Tyron Smith, okay, that tells you they're keeping AVT at guard. If they sign Zeitler, that tells you, okay, they're going to move him out to one of the tackles, probably right tackle. And then they're going to draft the best tackle available, it being Fashanu or Fuaga, whoever's on the board at that point at 10.
Sounds like the move to me.
What about I was saying to my buddies in the chat, maybe we sign Smith and then we get Bakhtiari at the league minimum, and you get one functioning tackle for 17 games between the two.
Yeah, you get one for 8, the other for 9. There you go.
Like a tag team. Yeah.
I know you don't do Shadow Realms, but send Steven Richardson out of this thing. $100 million from Mekhi Becton. You spent $2 to send that? You're crazy.
Thank you for the $2 super chat.
You're crazy,
Put
Steven.
him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here.
Crazy.
Hey, but you know what? I wouldn't mind signing Becton for a Fig Newton and just put him there as a backup just in case.
I don't even want him in the locker room, bro.
I don't.
I'm done.
Guy's tweeting he's a left tackle. He's not even a right tackle. He might be playing guard next year for somebody. Get out of here, bro. Please. Get lost, Becton.
I'm over the Becton thing too.
Just gotta. Who would have thought that the 2020 draft class, when we did it, the last guy remaining would be Ashton Davis?
Bro, I was all about Ashton Davis, man, from Cal. I like dude, man. He was
before 2 seasons ago. He was dog shit.
I mean, but I'm one of those people that's always like, bro, he's coming into the NFL and not. It'd be like you and I coming into the NFL, right?
Well, if we came into the NFL, Johnny, we'd be dead after the first play.
Oh, dude, not me, bro. I'm ducking and diving and everything like that, Just put me. I'll be on the sidelines, bro, with a clipboard. I'm good.
Well, I said if we got in the game. I'm saying if we got in the game.
Oh yeah, man. I'm pulling a hamstring, like just walking into the huddle.
Yeah, I think
Get me out, coach.
every muscle in my body would explode. I don't use those muscles anymore.
There we go. Good stuff, guys. Look at this. The 4 hanging out. We got Matt Z behind the scenes too. We add him in. We'll get it back to 5. Matt, what are you thinking? What do you got, man?
I just want to alert everyone. The DJ Reed police has arrived. If any of you have anything poor to say about DJ Reed, you will be put in the bathroom promptly. I'm kidding, of course.
Put him in the fucking bathroom. Get him out of here.
But when are they going to rework his deals, man? His deal. When are they going to start reworking his deals?
I was hoping that was something they would do if they're not going to be signing the guys right now. Like,
I think
Joe Douglas is not Colonel.
I think they're going to wait till post draft to extend it, because I think that's when they're going to do like. So you got to figure out based on what you do, whether you get like a Tyron Smith or a Kevin Zeitler. You got to figure out where you're putting AVT. Then you got to figure out if you're picking up his 50-year option. So all that stuff, I'm pretty sure Douglas said he's going to wait until post draft.
But don't the books have to be balanced by Wednesday?
What?
Like, don't the book, like, if you sign a guy or you agree to a deal, doesn't that all have to be lined up with the cap by Wednesday?
No, that's just when the new year starts. I think you have to be before training camp starts, if I'm correct.
Yeah, so they're gonna wait. They're gonna wait till post draft to pick up to decide on AVT's 50-year option, and then after that, I could see them, based on what their salary cap is, extending Reed. Like, I think they're gonna go to him after and be like, all right, here's another 3-year deal. Here's a 4-year deal. So I think all of that stuff is going to come post draft. I think I hear the argument between Zeitler and Tyron Smith. I prefer Tyron Smith personally, just because I really think AVT is all pro potential at guard. If you can get a suitable backup, you'll have Smith for 13 games, hopefully, because if you remember what was talked about with Tyron Smith was that they managed to keep him on the healthier side this year with a much reduced practice plan. So he wasn't practicing quite as much, wasn't doing as much strenuous work throughout the week, and he was good to go for game time because of that. He still performed like an elite left tackle. So I think if you're going to follow a similar routine like that, I would have no problem bringing in Tyron Smith, kicking AVT back to right guard, and then targeting like a Fuaga in the draft. That's the way I would go.
Breaking news. I don't know if you saw it. Gerald Everett signed with the Bears.
Oh, we'll hit it.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Gerald Everett to the Bears. Any news on the contract value?
Here's a 2-year deal.
$12 million. Okay. 2 for 12.
There you go.
Don't they already have Cole Kmet though? Like, I don't know about that one.
You need to,
ends.
Eric, Eric, yes, the get in the bathroom is from a Bronx tale.
Really? See, I'm gonna add that to like I have a Discord.
DJ Reed.
I'm gonna add that in. That sound.
As you should.
I'm gonna play it like constantly. All my friends are gonna be like, "Where's this from?" We immediately
coffee cakes, right?
Cakes. I don't want him looking at my dice.
Don't want him looking at that face. I hope that they sign one of those guys, but I have a feeling they're going to sign none of them today. So I got to cut out and go pick up my sons.
All right.
It was a pleasure, Matt. This is great. Go Jets, boys.
Good stuff, guys. Yeah, look at this.
They're going to wait until 11:30 p.m. to sign someone again.
I was telling Matt, you got to start the stream. I forgot the Jets night, but you got to start the stream at like 8:30 because Joe Douglas doesn't operate till at least 10 p.m.
I know. That's what. But I was trying to do. So my plan was do a stream at 12 to, I don't know, like 3-ish. I don't think I'm doing 4 hours again today or 5, whatever it was yesterday. And then do a video reaction to the signings, record just Jets, do talking Jets, and then be good. But there's no way that's going to happen. So I don't know.
Talking Jets is going to end at you guys do an overrun every now and then. It's going to end at like 10-2 is when the Jets are going to announce the signing.
Yeah, probably.
I completely forgot it was Tuesday because that's every Tuesday I end up making dinner at my home, and while I'm making it, like I make it for my dad usually. While I'm making it, I listen to it. I listen to it the entire time I'm making dinner, and I always forget. I'm like, and every time I'm like, oh crap, it's Tuesday. Let's go. Like,
we appreciate you checking in. Hype says that they do have to be under the cap by 12 tomorrow. I don't know how much cap space they have right now. It's also dependent on how they structure these deals. They can make it so it's lower numbers at first. But I mean, tomorrow morning, if we find out that like Morstead signs, they restructure a couple guys, like that's not going to be surprising at all.
But what happens if we are like over the cap? Like, do we get some insane penalty? Do we lose
Nothing, because the
7
cap
rounds?
is a myth. The salary cap is a myth. It doesn't exist.
we become the New Orleans Saints. That's what happens.
I mean, I'm with it, dude. Like, give me Higgins. But Matt,
yes,
you're telling me, bro. Well, there's two Matts. Matt in the car.
Okay.
So you're telling me, right? If there's an opportunity for us with DJ Reed, I love DJ Reed. I'm not trying to say that I want to do, but if DJ Reed and we got an opportunity to go ahead and bring in Higgins for Reed in the fourth, you're telling me you wouldn't do that?
Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm saying. And the reason being, because when you have cornerbacks of this caliber, you were able to get DJ Reed. Think about the contract he signed back when we got him. We brought him in after the 2021 season. We brought him in at an $11 million per year average, right? Then we drafted Sauce, and we already had Michael Carter II. You have a absolutely, and I will say this until the day I die. You have the best cornerback trio in the league, and in the league where now premier alpha number one wide receivers are not necessarily rare or not rare at all. And you know, you're especially in our conference where you have a Jamar Chase, you have a Tyreek Hill in our own division, Stephon Diggs, Jalen Waddle, you know, I could go on and on and on. Having the ability to just set them on an island and say, all right, you're not going to do much today because you're going to get locked down by our cornerbacks is huge. We can find decent wide receiver twos, whether it be for a trade or a signing that's not T. Higgins. I would love to have T. Higgins if I could call the Bengals and say, I'll give you 2025 first for Higgins, and they'd accept it. I would pull that trigger. But the ability to just completely shut down an opposing team's wide receivers is way too valuable for me to pass up, especially when our defensive line is as good as it is. I mean, if for some reason there's a bust in coverage, then you have to worry about the defensive line. If the defensive line doesn't get to you, you have to worry about no one getting open because our cornerbacks are shutting you down, right? And I think I have confidence all day long. I will put Sauce, Reed, Michael Carter II on an island with any receiver in the league, and I have no doubt in my mind that they aren't getting a catch. Right?
But that's my point. It's MC2 who I think is the long-term solution for us over DJ Reed, where I feel like we get a Higgins in, they're helping us now. If anything, that Eagles game showed us, right, that it's more of the type of package that we run. So we could, I mean, look, I love Sauce, and I want Sauce to be a Jet for the rest of his career and all that. But if I had to let one of those two go, it's going to be Reed, to where we could get a player like that, and then we're set for the long term as well after Rodgers or whatever the route that they go. Like, I want a Super Bowl as of yesterday.
If you're the Jets coaching staff and you look at Michael Carter II, in my opinion, and you say he's played great in the slot, we know he can also play really well on the outside where he traditionally hasn't, and you're able to fetch that kind of trade for Reed, I wouldn't necessarily shy away from it, but I just have to heavily consider it because we don't know. I'm not entirely confident that MC II could play outside. He maybe he can, but he's been traditionally great as a slot corner. Also, you bring up the Eagles game, and yeah, that's a good point. But if Devontae Smith didn't have a few huge drops, it would have looked a lot different. I mean, Brown had 7 catches over 100 yards. He beat one of our cornerbacks. I can't remember who it was on a pretty long deep ball. So you could convince me if you could also convince the rest of us that Michael Carter II can play on the outside. That's the biggest thing. If you are confident he can do that, then I would consider it.
But I think we could get
that,
some. I think we could draft somebody. Is what I'm trying to say. That I want MC2 to stay in that role because he's shut down that part of the field for us, right? But let us draft a corner and all that we could put on the other side that I think would be as good as DJ Reed long term wise.
What
but
round?
DJ Reed,
You're creating a hole
You guys are just digging the defensive hole that doesn't need to be dug. Let's just not touch the defense for right now.
What round would you draft a cornerback in? Let me ask you that, because I think we can all agree pick 10 is going towards an offensive tackle, hopefully.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't want to get rid of DJ Reed. I like it, but I just like us to kind of talk a little bit about something else compared to what everybody else is saying. And, I like making chaos.
By the way, can I just mention, I was at that Jets-Eagles game week 6. And that was a crazy, crazy emotional week for me because that Thursday before my dog passed away, and my friend who's an Eagles fan surprised me with tickets to that game, and it was like fantastic seats. It was like near end zone seats, and we went. It was just him and I. It was the first non-1 o'clock game I'd ever been at, and it was by far the best game I've ever been to, and it was so much fun. And so that holds a super special place in my heart for me in that game. And the fact it was first franchise win against the Eagles ever, everything like that, that was such a fun game to be at.
Yeah, it's awesome. That was a great one that they finally ended the streak there. We just went over the 3 o'clock hour. So I'm going to start wrapping up the stream on here, but I appreciate you guys hopping in with me for today.
I appreciate you, man.
We're gonna do it again tomorrow. So I will see all you guys tomorrow in here. Doug, we'll see you tomorrow bright and early. Johnny, bright and early tomorrow. Matt, night bright and early tomorrow. Connor, I'm gonna wrap up quickly, but I know you wanted to test your mic quick. So any takes you wanted to toss out before we wrap?
Yeah, can you guys hear me first thing? Just want to make sure.
You sound beautiful.
All right, I'm just making sure because earlier it was glitching out a little.
10 times better.
All right, yeah, thank you. I'm glad it's working. But yeah, like I just said, want to see a good signing today. Want to see a good signing, and I'm interested to pick Samini's brain tonight. Really want to hear what he has to say and who he thinks they're going to target.
Yes, I will be tuned into that as well. So I look
you.
forward to make sure to tune in over there. We're going to say goodbye to Connor. We'll see him later. Then we will get wrapped up here on the show. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me for 3 hours today. Light day, only a interior defensive tackle added. Talking Jets later, 8 o'clock. Just Jets podcast episode tomorrow morning. We'll be back live again at noon. Appreciate you guys. I'm Matt O'Leary, and I will catch y'all tomorrow. Go Jets.